second match change with these delays.
Oh, that's really...
No delays, no steer Karibos. Tazkin Lepica goes to the game. Back. Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live with Duel Links Team Wars Season 7, week number 3, and today we have Garuda versus NEO. I will be joined shortly by my good friend and co-caster, monkeyboy44. He'll be here very shortly. And that's the one and only top 8 in the Meta Weekly, monkeyboy44. That's right, Tier 0's own. And let's get right over to this game layer. Teams are not allowed to start, but it looks like we will have Kimaruru versus Zark starting us off. Oh my gosh, they started right at 11. They're insane. Here's Monkey Boy. What's good?
Yo, how we doing?
Good. I just introduced you by saying that you are the one and only monkeyboy44 from the Meta Weekly top 8.
Ooh.
So
my most recent claim to fame.
that's your only claim to fame. Let's be honest.
That's true. Yeah, I mean.
No, you got casting pair of the season last season as well. So
True.
That's multiple claims to fame. And I'm assuming that's not your very first top, let's say.
I mean, you know, maybe not, but we'll forget about the others.
So
more importantly, well, I was gonna say I had to carry some jank caster to that award last season.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Luckily, you did the job. I mean,
yeah,
that's just how it goes. So in the chat, we have Intro Dan, Dom the Kid, Hawkeye, yeah, Nadama, Hype Beast 13, and the one and only Nightbot. So.
Oh, big fan of that last guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, hello to the handful of you guys that are jumping on right away. Sure, we'll have more rolling in.
So, did you make your way into the room yet? We have a Raiden and Panties Hand of the Light Sworn come out, milling a Raiden and a Charge of the Light Brigade from Kimaruru straight off the bat.
I am grabbing the room ID right now, so I will be very barely behind you.
Bro,
but I'll be
you won't even believe what he just milled. A Lunalite Fusion and a Lunalite White Rabbit in the end phase.
I just saw it on your stream. Oh my god. Hello?
I know. And I also I added a little something to the info box this week. So what we'll have for this week, and let me know if you guys like it. I put the scores for matches that have concluded already. I put that scrolling in the info box for you guys, so you guys can keep up to date, know exactly what's going on, and have something to talk about. And here's Cyber Dragon. And Shiny Sophia unsubscribed at Tier 1. That is 26 freaking months in a row.
Holy.
So, thank you, Shiny Sophia.
Shiny. You're out of control. But also keep doing that. You're awesome.
For real. So Cyber Dragon and Cyber Dragon Core coming out for Zark. I mean, this is kind of rough. I mean, we got some spice coming out from Kimaruru, and unless he's got something hand trappy,
yeah.
I would say a search for the Cybernetic Overflow on turn 2, not looking good for Kimaruru.
Yeah, like you said, unless there's a hand trap here, that's game, right?
Yeah, I mean, he has to have the fusion spell. There it is. Cyber Load Fusion. He's just blowing his load immediately here.
I mean, might as well, right? Like, your opponent normals one monster and passes. That is not the most intimidating board he's staring down right now.
Well, to be fair, he also milled a bunny.
True. I mean, you know, for what that's worth. Interesting choice, though, Lunalite in as the Team Wars opener, nonetheless.
Lightsworn
Lunalite as
yeah.
well. Yeah, let's acknowledge. Yeah, wow.
So you got to expect something like Levianeer or something, right? That's lights and darks all together.
I don't know what to expect in this line. Like, maybe you expect Levianeer, but like I don't know.
Yo, that
I
21
guess-
went through clean. Oh, is there
Yep.
a kite? Something? No, he just kills
No.
him. And Fetty Guap in the chat. He's like, these guys did not open up with Lightsworn Luna Light, and they did indeed.
I mean, Fetty, I've got the same thought as you, but here we are looking at it.
I mean, maybe we just don't have the nads like that. We just don't have them swinging the way these guys have them swinging, and they just got it like that.
Yeah, man, maybe they were onto the spice.
Maybe
Now,
that
Heinz,
was just a sack. That's
What do
mad.
you think the chances are they repeat this?
It better be 100%.
I would love to see a repeat. I just want to see somebody buckle down and be like, you know what? We opened this deck for a reason, all right? And it's because it's going to sweep. Repeat.
Yeah, either that or whoever the manager is, Kimaruru was like, I want to play this. And and the coach or whatever was like, okay, you can play it, but you're leading. So that way, if you like just light yourself on fire and fall to the ground, you're out of the way. We don't have to worry about you.
Right? I'll tell you what you don't want is you don't want to anchor on the super high risk
Yeah, Lightsworn
spice
Luna
deck
Light.
that's not on the tier list.
We're waiting for that Lightsworn Luna Light reverse sweep. Now, unknown in the chat says Nads not equal to high IQ. That's because if you got large Nads, you don't need a large IQ.
I was about to say the same thing. You do not need IQ.
Yeah.
Really, any at all.
Yeah, I mean, you can
As
have.
long as you've got one.
It's like picking.
It's like life points.
Yeah, or like, I was gonna say it's like picking character stats in an RPG. You get Nads,
yep.
money, or IQ, and you know what?
Oh my god.
I can't remember what I picked.
Heinz, are you in the chat for the team match right now? It's
It's a repeat.
God. Oh my! What are we watching? Oh my god! I'll tell you what we're about to watch. It's the same thing.
Bird of the repeat, Lightsworn Luna Lights. Let's
Oh
go.
my
Man
God,
says
this is
I'm going
legendary.
second.
I'm so excited.
Right. We picked the best match this week.
I mean, this clearly was the right choice. Yes. But no, yeah, I was gonna say it's IQ. You know, it's like life points. As long as you have one.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's
all you
need.
Unless it's full or zero, it doesn't matter.
Yep. I'll devote the rest of my stats to Nads. Thank you.
Yo, also pay attention to the skill. It's not just
Aroma
lights. It's not just
strategy.
Lightsworn Luna Lights. It's aroma strategy Lightsworn Luna Lights.
What is this? What is the game plan here?
Dude, it's broken. Information is power. That's what I heard.
So here's one thing worth pointing out. Usually if you're going to run some like very rogue, not tiered deck, like it's because it's a very hard 1-for-1 counter to something specific, but you don't open it. I have never, I don't know if I've ever seen a team just hard open a
He's going
completely
second.
rogue deck like
He's
this.
going second. And he's up against
Okay.
one set.
I mean, that's really good. That's looking like a pretty hard brick from Cyber Dragon, which is something they do. Yes, Hype Beast, they repeated.
What country is NEO from?
They're Japan, I believe, right?
I thought they were from Ojama country, but maybe Japan.
I thought Neo was another Japan team that showed up after D-Draw, but I could be wrong.
I think you're actually right. Hawkeye says he's Jamaican. Alright, so here
Hawkeye is most of your team Japanese, though? I believe, correct?
Now, both countries do start with a J.
True. That means they're the same.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, he milled a Kiteroid this time, so he's probably not going to just straight up die to a Rampage Dragon.
I mean, technically no. I suppose. It does barely keep him alive. He did mill the Crimson Fox, which would technically trigger its effect, but
Yeah,
there's
there
no
was a
monster
monster
to
on the
reduce.
field. That is something interesting to think about. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah,
always have to be afraid of a Crimson Fox mill. And hold on, he milled the Martin, but didn't search a Lunalight Fusion, and there's a Lunalight Fusion in the grave. Does that imply that...
Okay, yo, can we talk about the fact that so far all we've seen this deck do is summon Raiden?
No, that's not true, because that Lunalight Emerald Burb is about to bring that Fox right on back. And here goes Yellow Martin, so this one's getting a search.
Okay.
Alright, so he's plussing hard.
What is the strategy of this deck?
To reduce your opponent's life points to 0. And their attack, evidently.
No. Fair. Alright, there's some clear win cons. I stand corrected.
He does have a level 8 Synchro next turn. That is available. Oh, Dirty Harry of the Darkness. Dirty Herald of the Abyss.
Gonna send Raiden, specifically. Not entirely sure why you would send Raiden over Crimson Fox, but I guess we'll see what else he has.
Yeah, it is weird because it is the monster that's in attack mode, but if he's going Cyber End
okay.
with something, I guess it kind of makes a degree of sense, because if you can, say, Concentrated Current Cyber End Dragon, it doesn't lose the Kiteroid.
Yeah. Yo, is he just gonna Cyber End and win this?
You know, it's entirely possible. He does have to get through his opponent's Aroma strategy.
Is that what's about to happen right now? What are we watching?
Right now, we're watching a pretty nice animation of Cyber End Dragon.
True.
And Regulator confused in the chat saying, wait, did they repeat against Cyber Dragons? And into the battle phase we go. If there is a Concentrating Current, that thing is about to hit 6,800. And there it is, Concentrating Current.
Oh my god, he's got it.
Oh no, and 6,200 to the mouth, and the repeat goes down.
Yeah, Greg, we don't exactly know what this is. We've really only seen him summon Raiden and pass.
You mean to tell me that Lightsworn Lunalight was not 10-0 sweeping deck that I was promised?
I just... You know what? At this point, I am stoked to see what else is in this lineup. I'm really hoping it's like a lot of spice and not just that.
I hope they bring in another one.
Buns, it was Lightsworn Luna. Specifically. Hines, if they bring in another one, I'm gonna lose my mind out of here. It's about to get real hype.
I mean, week 3, is this the week you gamble? Is this the one where you're like, you know what? Let's just try our best to just throw our opponents off, you know? You just pocket sand them.
I don't know. I'm confused. This is one of the more odd wars I've casted so far.
Well, we're only one deck in so far from each team, and Soy Leano is coming in. Let's just call him Soil. You think Soil's probably good enough for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We shorten plenty of people's names, so.
That's true, Monk.
True, hi.
I'm not. It's really just the way I look. Narrow eyes, and I'm tired.
You get that a lot, huh?
I do.
Alright, so we have got, what is her name? Why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, yeah. Which presumably is either Levelog or the skill that removes Spanish cards from the game entirely.
It's entirely possible. What do you mean there's an error in the score? Oh, wait. NEO? Oh, I got NEO the... Thank you. I put the scores on the wrong side. It's actually Garuda that's in the lead currently.
Oh, true.
There we go. Thank you very much, Hawkeye. Oh, that
Okay,
grass looks...
opened the
Whoa.
one of grass.
He hit a Gazuki, Dragon Ice. He hit a second Dragon Ice, a Dice It, Shiranui Spectral's Word, Tackle Crusader, Shade, Squire, Samurai. All of his tuners.
Heinz, I don't have words to describe how excited I am for this entire lineup at this rate. This is going to be something real spicy the whole way through, I have a feeling, and I'm here for it.
Successfully chain blocked the Gazuki as not to be negated. And he's going to get his Spectral's Word Shade back. These guys went to the guns blazing school of deck building. And
just to say, interesting spice through and through.
Cybernetic Overflow. And can only banish the Cyber Dragon core, as the other Cyber Dragon is face down, not treated as a Cyber Dragon. And I'm pretty sure it says it has to be a face up on the field anyway. Face up field and or graveyard.
Yes. Yep,
hand.
face up field and or graveyard. Cyclone to hit one of the back row. Curious what this is.
It was a
Dice it again. Okay.
Does he have a Whirl in the grave? You know what? I think that might have been one of the only cards he didn't hit. But his opponent does have to play around this double Dragon Ice with one card in hand that very well could be a Whirly Flame. Yeah, and you're right, he actually opened the one of, and you gotta suspect that with Sarah, it's probably level augmentation.
At this point, with it being Shira, yeah, I would expect level aug, although with their deck choices up to this point being really spicy, I mean, it could very well be her banish
Mind
card
of the
skill.
Plana.
Yeah, Mind of Plana.
Although, you know, I would say, if it was indeed Mind of the Plana, I would say you probably would have used it on that Cyber Dragon core. I mean, removing one of your opponent's cores early like that, just hitting the delete button on it probably would have been beneficial.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when you know your opponent plays current. You want them to have the fewest chances to fuse.
Yeah, very, very true. Very good point. Flipping the Veer back up, summoning him to a second Veer, double boosting each other. Cyber style into a third monster. I'm just going beatdown at this point.
I mean, if it works, it works. Here comes Dice. He hits a 6!
Okay.
And he gets the banish one. And there's the Whirl Flame. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, alright.
He's got that Whirl now. Oh, he hit the 6.
He's got Squire and Spirit Master engraved.
And the tackle. He's going to reduce that Proto
tackle
down to 11. Says, nice swing, nerd. And he's still swinging. No replay as his opponent didn't change the number of cards on his side of the field.
Oh my gosh. What is happening?
And there goes the Whirly Flame. Banishes off the Squee Ray as well as the Spectral's Word Shade. Gonna draw one and put that Burgeoning Whirl Flame right back in the grave.
I'm curious why he banished out the 3. He could have banished out like Samurai and ripped something back out from his graveyard to make plays, unless he's got like really good cards in hand for a follow-up.
Perhaps to bring it back with the Solitaire.
Yeah. Could go, yeah, 2 in Solitaire here, and then put out 3.
I have to suspect this is going to be game here. Soil's got to take this. I mean, there's so many plays available. The advantage is overwhelming.
Yeah, once 30 card Shira gets set up like this, I mean, yeah, there's so many options.
I see
So we
Epic
posted a lot
Shows
of
in the
things.
chat. That is my co-caster for the game tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And I'll be casting a team known as Tier 0 versus... Who cares? It's Tier freaking 0, man. That's what I'm saying.
Hello.
No, seriously, who
I'm
you guys
on
playing
that
against?
team. That's a really good question. I want to say SEM off the top of my head, but
It
I'm
is, it's
kind of
SEM.
drawing a blank. Yeah, it is SEM.
I was giving you a chance to, like, be like, yeah, no, I have a really respectful team. You're like, I don't know, who cares?
Oh my
we don't even
gosh.
ask for names.
No, there's just so many league things going on. I was,
Yeah.
I wasn't, but my team was in finals for
He attacked
Brazilian
with the
League
Shogun
a couple
Saga
hours ago
first,
earlier today.
and then in with the Gazukis.
And yeah, oh my gosh.
And that's it. So, not a meme team after all. Soiliano is going to take a game, moving the score to 2-1 with Garuda leading as they do. And sorry, I kind of cut you off there as you were.
No, you're
going through
good.
this stuff because we just the game was getting exciting. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just, you know.
I'm excited for every single one of these matches. This is potentially a very hype game at this point.
Speaking of hype beast in the chat, assuming that I don't want to cast with him. And apparently Buns as well. You people are insane. I'll cast with both of you at the same damn time. I'll get you both beside me in a booth. I look like I'm skiing.
Wait a minute.
Well, because I have to hold the mics up for them.
Oh, why is that required?
Well, because they
Are
don't have
not
arms.
strong enough? Oh, you're right. I forgot. Both of them don't have arms.
Yeah, it's actually really weird that they both... Yeah, actually, Buns Draco is the only player known to have won an MCS playing with just his nose.
No arms. Yeah. Well, no, he does have hands.
Yeah,
He
but
just
I mean,
doesn't- he
if
just
he
doesn't have
turns his shoulders where his hands are attached, he can't like move his head independently. So he can't see what he's doing if he plays with his hands. So he has to play with his nose and like peck it like a pigeon.
You're right. Buns, I'm so sorry about that condition of yours. But you do pretty well, you know, despite all of that.
He also doesn't have legs. That's why it's just called Buns Draco, because it's just feet buns. That's it.
True. Yep. So going into Squire and level 3, opting to go into level 7 early, assuming this is Saber, which is what it probably looks like. Probably trying to get that level 7 out before any floodgates hit the field, in hopes of potentially being able to use a banish effect and start popping some back row.
Definitely a good idea. I also want to say, Resleen in the chat says shout out to both teams for being super organized, by the way. So a big shout out to both Garuda and NEO for being so well organized. And I also want to give a big shout out to Resleen. She is our esteemed referee for the match and doing all the hard organizational work, keeping track of the scores and all that in the back. It's amazing the hard work these refs do, so please, guys, give them some support. If you guys subscribe to Duel Links Team Wars, you do support the referee team, so please, and the organizers, so please hit that sub button, hit that Twitch Prime if you got it. If anybody deserves it, it's the hard-working people.
Yeah, thank you to refs. We really appreciate you guys. You help keep things, you help keep things running smoothly for us as teams and players as well. So going for a double search here. So searched out Malayhu, dropped a second Palace, adds another Malayhu for the heck of it, because, you know, why not? If you're going to lose your battle phase, then just go for it. Flipping down to level 7, going to swing in to try and kill that and protect all these new back row he's set. See if... Okay.
The attack does go through clean.
Yep.
So you would have to assume that if it was something like a Dice It or a Whirlflame, rips that grass looks greener off the top of the deck.
Oh my gosh.
Scorpion, yes, Zark did go 2-0 with Cyber Dragons. He managed to beat Lightsworn Lunalight.
Yeah, for anybody showing up late, the opening deck was Lightsworn Lunalight from Neo, and they chose to repeat that, and it did not work out the second time either.
And we were surprised.
So that's what we had seen for those first couple matches, and then now we're seeing this Grassed Screener Shira deck. We don't know the skill yet either. I think somebody had asked in chat earlier. Greg had asked.
Yeah, no.
Presumably, though, it's a level. It's a skill that edits levels in some ways, like Level Log, or I forget what else she has.
a pointer of the Red Lotus. This actually could stuff that Gazuki effect here.
Yeah, could potentially be pretty good here.
Yo, and just as we're talking about this, Mythyard rating with a party of 27. Thank you, Mythyard. He's got 2 zombies, though.
Myth, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Banish that Spirit Master one time.
Yeah, banish Spirit, please. Let's see what happens. Now, worth remembering here is that although Zark will get D-Draw this next turn, he will not have a Battle Fade.
Well, that's pretty rude of you just to take his battle phase away from him just for a pointer of Red Lotus.
I know.
Now, one other thing this a pointer accomplishes is Spirit Master not getting its effect on special summons, so not getting that +1 in advantage that Spirit Master so much enjoys. So it's actually a pretty good hit there.
Yeah, that actually was like kind of a awkward disruption into what Soil was expecting to play. And hello, some of the guys in chat that are saying hi to us and jumping in here.
Yeah, we did see Sham, and we also see Swagonitis.
Yeah. So it does have level 2 engraved that he's able to at least make a play with, so that's always good.
How nice is that Tackle Crusader in this matchup, by the way? This one and Dark Magician.
True, actually. Yeah, I don't... Like, I guess I haven't really thought through the uses of Tackle Crusader in different matchups because it's not something we see a lot of right now, but it does have some use. I mean, if you can resolve it, it's just a matter of the fact that running 1 grass is, kind of risky, but he does have some Needle Bugs and some Dicets, as we've seen.
Dicet is one of the best cards in the game, period.
All right, you heard it here first, everybody.
Oh, Squire Saga
Stock
coming
up
out.
on Dicets. Floodgate also quickly coming out.
Also, what do you think of Nog calling us the Spicy Ape casting combo?
Ooh. Are you an ape as well? Is there a conversation we need to have?
I'm just thinking maybe we'll just get it on t-shirts or something.
Okay. I'm interested. Let's explore this.
Dusty Knees draw going on for Zark here. Also, keep in mind that this Archfiend Zombie Skull negated effect, no longer protecting that board from effect destruction.
Yeah, very true. Could potentially come up, you never know. Depending on what back row each player is running. Did Destiny draw for the Alistair? Likely, yep, gonna probably go into Casitas here just as a way to survive. He does not have a battle phase, so offensive pushes are not really an option.
You want another little trick just for a fun, Archfiend Zombie Skull themed dinner? You take some spaghetti, put some blue food dye in your bolognese. Boom, you got some purple spaghetti right there, red and blue. That's how you do it. Got yourself an Archfiend Zombie Skull dish of pasta.
What am I listening to? Guys, if you're in chat, do me a personal favor as friends and call 911, please.
Bada bing, bada boom. Got yourself some purple spaghetti.
Help. I'm not okay. Now, one thing worth noting here, and we see it based on the quick pass, is that Shears are really pretty locked up here. With one monster floodgated, with a level 4 and 6, neither of which being a tuner. On field, like there's minimal plays that they can make until somehow they get some board space freed up.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that he is playing the Dragon Ice, but that only tributes off 1, and as far as I know, not a tuner.
True as well. Yeah, with Shears, it's pretty awkward once your board gets clogged. You really have minimal options to clear that up, which is unfortunate.
We haven't seen the Nine-Tailed Fox, which was played in the past.
True. Yeah, I mean, there's, 30 cards in this deck, right? Like, there could be a lot of things. We definitely don't know all the text. Are there 30? Or is it like a 20-something?
I believe it was a straight 30. There's 4 on the board, 4 banished, 2 in the hand. That's 8, and then 22. Yep, we're looking at a 30-card deck. Oh, wait, but one's a synchro.
Yeah, that's why I'm...
2 are synchros. What the heck? Is it 28?
So 12-4 is 16, 17.
Ooh, big piercing damage.
No, yeah, it's 30. It's 30.
He did.
Okay, well, they're
So-
not able to repeat this, so we get to see what the next deck is. And so far, they're 2 for 2 on bringing some real spicy decks. So I'm very excited to see what else is coming.
Yeah, I definitely hope that every single deck is just as spicy as the last. And maybe we can get some more culinary secrets from Heinz before we get out of here.
Yeah, I need your ketchup recipe whenever you get a chance. I hear yours is, you know,
Dude, it's
real good.
It's tomatoes and sugar. What more do you need?
Oh, okay.
You put a bunch of tomatoes in the bottom of a barrel, you put your feet in there, and you smash them around.
Ooh. So it's tomatoes, just add feet.
Yeah, I mean, don't wash your feet because that's where the flavor comes from.
That's your secret ingredient. I knew it. See, you tried to hide it, but I made you go one step deeper, and we figured it out.
Well, no, you got to step more than once because if you only step in one step deeper, then you're not gonna get much.
Please leave.
It's Shiranui again.
It's another Shira. What? They paired Shira with Shira as separate decks.
I mean, he's on a different character even. It's 30 cards again.
What? It's 30 Shira again. Presumably both have been level logged. They just haven't, I guess, needed it.
This one's
What?
tacked out for this matchup, though. He's gonna have Galaxy Cyclones galore.
I'm so...
Bro, they're flaming zombies. What more do you need?
Here's the thing, is especially with the way that the repeat rule works now as well, or with the existence of the repeat rule, you really don't see hardly ever anybody pair decks together.
Yeah, pretty much just waiting
Like-
with two different kinds of Cristrons.
True. That one you can rely on. But short of that specific situation, because obviously Wayne only knows how to play one deck.
No, he knows how to
But-
play X Sabers, but they don't exist anymore.
Man, that's true as well. Throwback or shout out to X Sabers as well as Archfiend. But yeah, to my point, you really don't see teams pair two decks of the same like archetype together anymore, because you can typically just repeat if you lose. So if you pair two decks together, you're assuming that one deck is going to win. You're not going to be able to use the repeat, and you like still need that deck to continue like slaying out. Like I don't know. I'm curious what the mentality here was.
I do just want to point out while we're going off here, so we did see a Dice It and a Needlebug. Keep in mind, Spearman or Samurai can activate its effect in the damage step, so we could be seeing a banished Element Saber Malehu here.
Yep. Also worth noting on a few other things. Oh, okay. He is going to banish. I was going to say he does have a Bacon Saber engraved, so can stop attacks from that. He has 2 Whirl Flames engraved as well, but not too much else for other Shira options.
Does mill the Solitaire, returns a Samurai into the grave, so now pretty much in the same position, except now he has a Solitaire in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
That back row has to be scary for him, though, right? I mean, Fiendish Chains and Floodgates both kind of spoiling his party here. That's
Yeah,
why
Shiras are really never excited to be staring down too much for back row, especially if they don't have a level 2 engrave. Honestly, some of these mills were actually kind of unfortunate on the side of Shira. There's not a lot of setup that came from that.
Yeah, Tackle Crusader, I mean, it did take the Palace off the board, but I mean, that would have been better in the main phase because they can't play it.
Yeah.
I mean, he had already searched. And do you really want to risk going, like, as soon as your opponent plays Palace, just start milling like crazy? Like, is that information you want to give your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I think he kind of did what he had to do ultimately. Now, interesting enough is that he chose to floodgate the Squire instead of the level 2, which is typically not the direction you go. Especially given that he doesn't have that Sabers don't have a battle phase this turn. So this does still free up his level 2 to be used from field and then, you know, subsequently from grave next turn. So that'll be interesting.
He is going for Cocytus here. I mean, it is a bit, you know, like, in so many Shiranui matchups, you know, sitting on a fat cock could actually help stall your opponent up. But we do know he's playing probably 3 samurai, so it's really just a quick touch from being banished. Oh, and Dragon Ice.
Yeah, it's a good point about the samurai, but that being said, we do know that at least 2 of the samurai are accounted for right now, so it does kind of minimize the risk, but...
Well, he's got a solitaire in the hand as well. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
So he can always get the one back from the banished pile fairly easily. Greg, actually, Fetty did. So you're good, don't worry. Shout out to LEM there, Gregulator. That is PH Greg, teammate of mine. Very nice guy. Hardworking moderator for a lot of community tournaments as well.
So, draw phase on blue, or on blue on.
Oh, he's pointing at him.
You stay here.
And we do see that he's got an Alistair in the hand. What a surprise. A Malehu, and there was a trap. I can't remember what it was. It's too fast.
And then 2 solitaires, so it really doesn't matter too much on either. Does banish one out, does not get a solitaire effect due to having summoned Dragon Ice previously, so now his board's clogged up. That could have actually potentially been useful.
Yeah, it's funny. Like nowadays, when you see Shiranui, you almost expect their back to be clogged up, but in this particular build, you're actually seeing their front clogged more often.
True.
Would you rather have your front or your back clogged?
You know, I prefer both clogged at the same time, ideally.
Tributes off that Squee Ray for the second solid Taroni that he's got.
Okay.
So you like a real full platter there.
Yeah,
Everything
really,
clogged up.
as much cloggage as we can get.
I want someone that's clogged. I need to call a plumber.
Yeah, the thicker the abscess, the better, really. Okay, so he's gonna banish out Solitaire as well for a boost and potentially also to summon something at this point, which will summon out the Samurai, which is very big. That actually might be game here. Should be. We do know the hand of the other player. So swing in with Samurai, take some damage, but banish in the process, and win.
So this mill heavy Shiranui taking a game. I mean, it's just as dangerous as ever when they do get the mills they need.
I mean, he's 2-1 now, right?
He is. Now, Garuda still has counter pick advantage, so I mean, I guess they kind of do have to wonder, like, what did we bring for Mill Shiranui? It plays very different than the back row heavy deck that we have come to expect from Shiranui these days.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Like, the interesting thing about the fact that Neo is running a lot of decks that really you don't see, or the interesting thing about rogue decks in general, is that you don't always know exactly what to play around. You don't always have, like, outs kind of built into your decks for those. You typically build very much around the meta. So, there is a bit of an advantage from going rogue in that sense.
Nick
I guess
says Craig did the Chaos Lightsworn Luna Light deck lose already? Oh, unfortunately it did. They used the repeat on it, man.
Yep, and as Greg mentioned, it went 0-2, unfortunately. I was hoping to see some carnage.
It
But
really was.
yeah, Nyx, he didn't miss much, unfortunately. They pretty much summoned Raiden and passed both times.
Yeah, and I mean, just died to Cyber Dragons doing Cyber Dragon things.
Yeah. Yeah, the unfortunate thing was that Cyber Dragon actually bricked on game 2, just set one single card, and then again just riding and swing in and pass, and wasn't able to capitalize on that brick. Also, Jonesy with the 23rd month of Tier 1 subscription in the chat, saying monkey with a bones poggers. Appreciate you, Jonesy. Big fan. Hope you're doing well.
So what would you expect to bring in? Seeing 30 cards.
Dude,
Nui.
I got no answers for you. Like, at this point, I don't know what you send. I don't know what you expect. I don't know what text you're playing around. Like, I'm just here for the ride, man. I'm going to try to commentate as much as I can, but, like, I don't know how to make accurate predictions here. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Honestly, you would have to think that the Element Saber deck would have been a good pick. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for him. I wonder if they're just going to bring in a second one. You know, you can banish the tuners. Purgatrio still eats those 0 defense monsters. I guess we're going to find out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And
Also, Edu, hello in chat.
Omen's Cool coming in, by the way.
Okay, they've got an Ishizu deck. So possibly some Sealed Tombs coming to, you know, freeze these plays for a bit.
Oh man, if he actually has no mortal still, the skills were updated, fully legal. Ooh. That would just eliminate
that would be wild.
That graveyard.
Yeah, imagine milling a fat 10 and then getting 10 Skull Servants. So this is DM. I was going to say that typically any deck running Tombs right now is probably most likely to be DM.
I have seen
which is also, again, good against
Blackwings. Blackwings does still have that nice advantage of their, you know, optimal opening play is either have a Cosmic or have a Simoon, and they can consistently get their Sealed Tombs popping as well.
That's a really good point, yep.
Speaking of which, shout out to Buns Draco in the chat, who popularized that with his MCS victory.
Heck yeah, Buns.
Playing with just his nose again. I can't believe it. So how long do you think we'll be using the Buns plays with his nose thing? Is that just, like, this stream only? Or do you want to like carry that along for a while?
Heinz, I would like to publicly state my commitment to keep this going with you as long as we possibly can, if you'd like.
It's an indefinite Buns plays with his nose. Okay, sounds good to me.
Long past when anyone else remembers this joke.
Absolutely, works for me. I like that. Ugh.
Eventually, it'll fade into a joke that's just for you and me.
Most of them are.
Very true. I like to think that chat puts up with us versus being here specifically for us, but we appreciate you guys all this. Now, what we don't know here is whether or not navigation is live. We did see it get searched. So Cosmic Cyclone, really good card to have set there. Going to take out one of the back row.
Yeah.
If Nav is live.
Yeah, if Nav is live, this is just...
It's
just
game.
Over.
And it's live. That should be game.
And especially if he does drop a Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer on the board, it's like, what even do you do at that point?
That's very true as well. Because I was going to say, like, I guess without Kaiku, the only situation here would be that he banishes the monster. It is a flyer, and then he draws and pitches like a Bacon Saber to grave.
And the Tackle Crusader was in the hand, and so he had to set it.
Oh my. Well, I think, do they run multiple? Have
Probably
we seen multiple
two.
in the same deck?
You can only own two.
True. But yeah, I think we maybe saw two in one of the games.
I think we did.
Gorp mentioning he was ready for that to be a set Spirit Master.
Man, I was
guess that
actually
would have been
hoping
the
for it.
other,
I was
yeah.
getting the hype ready. I was breathing deep, trying to get the hype right from the bottom of my lungs.
I need you to dig deeper than that, Heinz. Lower.
Get it right from the bottom of my plums.
Right from your level 99 nads.
IQ too low, can't think of clever comeback.
Level 99 Nads, level 1 IQ. Never change. Alright, so that was a classic DM win doing DM stuff. Basically just combo with Cosmic Cyclone, take out a back row, take out a monster, negate, easy win.
All you gotta do is open a 3-card combo. That's it. Why does everybody act like that's so hard?
Just go first with combo.
It's easy for Dark Magician, but when I play XYZ Dragon Cannon, it doesn't work out so well. What's up with that?
What? Why does that not work? You know what, Heinz? We're going back to the workshop on our secret XYZ Dragon Cannon deck.
All right, I'll see you there.
And I'm not talking about that Ojama variant that like sorta used it, but you know did some other stuff
Normal
as well.
summon every single one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna summon X Head Cannon, Y Dragon. I forget the names of what they are.
Y Dragon Head, Z Metal Tank, and X Head Cannon.
Yeah, Y Dragon Head. Yep.
Oh, you never forget head, bro. Who just came in? Was it Massa? It was Rui.
It's Rui. Yep. Fortunately for you, I'm behind on joining into the duel, so I can confirm.
Wait, hold on. Heroes. Oh, they switched spots on me. Oh my gosh, not like this.
No, Rez, we're not doing Novo dirty like that. We're saying that his deck is too meta relevant. We're not taking the high road like he did. All right, we're going low.
Like I said, normal summon everyone. You're lucky if I even use a photon lead to cheat one of them out.
Or a unexpected die. I think that's the way to do it, man.
No, if I'm gonna die, I want it to be right on schedule.
Fully expected. All right, so we are seeing the hero deck now. This is the first
Standard counter.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first deck on technically on the tier list that we've seen from Neo. I'm not gonna technically consider 30 card Shira to be on the tier list. Not saying it's bad. I mean, he did go 2-2, but
Yo, Resling gonna take you out to the flagpole after lunch, before lunch, steal your lunch money. You mentioned any kind of Shiranui not on the tier list.
I'm about to get hella wedgies. All right.
Resling, he already made it easy for you. Monkey Boy wears nothing but thongs.
Who says I wear underwear at all? Can't get wedgies if you don't have underwear. Stay woke, everyone.
Monkey Boy has BYOU. Bring your own undies for his wedgies.
Hey, man.
You gotta bring your own if you want to give him a wedgie.
Us Yu-Gi-Oh players out here, we get it, right? Am I right, fellow people? I don't care if you're 24 like me or if you're 110 like the egg. We all still get wedgies, all right?
I mean, that's a preventative measure. It was smart. It was calculated. You were smart to do that.
Also worth noting is that we saw a full combo setup from Heroes. We'll see what the other back row is. Could be something like a second Nav. Could be a Tretch. Could be a Cyclone. A lot of good options here versus Hero.
And
biggest thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say from Hero, what we didn't see was a Stratos immediately slapped onto the board. Wondering if he's gonna drop one now. There it is. Okay, never mind.
Yep, there it is. Yep, you were actually beating me to it because I was going to make a similar comment about how really Stratos is probably the scariest thing for a for DM at this point.
Yeah, and that non-target back row destruction just destroying his ring.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Cosmic as well, and that's a yikes, man. Haven't used Cosmic there. Increase just changes.
Now, that was a misplay, I believe, because you should nav. Well, I guess technically it really doesn't matter.
I mean, if you let the chain resolve, it's...
Yeah. Yeah. I guess either way, what you would have wanted to try and do, possibly, I mean, I guess you either take the risk on Stratos or you use NAF early, try and force the increase to do something, and then Cyclone the increase on Chainlink, or the Chainlink after it activates.
There's somebody called the Egg69 says, someone just DM me and said at Monkey Girl is talking smack.
Oh, Egg, I pointed out that, you know, whether you're a youthful, you know, mid-20s like myself, or you're 110 like the Egg69 himself. But, Egg, I love you, man. I hope you're doing good things out there. It's been a while since we've chatted, but good to see you.
So stop disturbing his naps.
I appreciate
young
you.
whippersnappers, get off my lawn!
I'm sure you've been in bed since probably 6 p.m. your time, so I appreciate you waking up nearly like.
Well,
know,
he was.
4 or
He
5
says
hours.
stop disturbing his naps. He had to get up for a pee anyway. He's got a
Yeah.
prostate like a grapefruit.
No, that does check out.
So we did see one set in the back row from Heroes there as well. Do you expect something like a mask change, or are you suspecting something like Cosmic Cyclone? What kind of back row is Heroes running these days?
Yeah, really, it's very narrow, very limited. Presumably, it's not a set bluff like second polymerization. Most likely, really at that point, the only options are going to be Cyclone, like we see here.
That's it.
Mask
Okay.
change would be the other one, or I still do see some hero decks running one Tretch over a second Bion. So those are pretty much your only options.
I can definitely see it. I mean, opening Vion's not the worst. Opening up double increase, I'd say that's probably where your nightmares really happen. Double malicious.
Yeah, or honestly, like even single malicious is kind of rough unless you have the right setup to dump it to grave. But double malicious is murder. Shout out to Restar and Swag in the chat, some fellow FD guys for Clan Wars. We don't talk about it. I'm sorry,
What
never
did
mind.
you- what?
It doesn't exist. It doesn't. The limit does not exist.
Amateurs.
All right, we do see a nav.
Imagine having a 3-card combo twice.
Why not? Just open 3-card combo twice.
Yo, Nightbot
five head.
correctly saying the casters of this game are iChantBot and Guy Bisis.
Give us a shout out, guys. We all know iChanbot here with me today, and you guys know me.
Yo, I'm iChantBot,
can't-
Konnichiwa and shit. What's up?
I forget how to pronounce my name sometimes, but you all know me.
I'm here with Guy Bisis. What's up?
You know me, guys. It's Guy Boss is coming at you right now with iChan. All right, so DM gonna crash. Kaiku. Oh no! Oh, expanded.
Oh,
okay.
he's expanding.
big. Now, although this is not lethal,
It certainly is close.
it's very close, and Kaiku is able to prevent banishing as well as, if they want to, just knock a few monsters out of the grave.
I'd say
'Cause
you
why not?
probably do, right? Oh, he's not even gonna
Not-
swing.
Gonna attack? Does he think this is... Wait, what?
I don't know. I mean,
What is he
Dark
playing around?
Magician, Sealed Tombs, perhaps. He wants to be able to prevent back row, I guess. Because Sealed Tombs would be preventing the navs, and he's got guaranteed lethal if he can't get over anything. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's smart. He's smarter than me. That's why he won the duel. Well
and
done, Omens.
Omen's cool, going up to 2-0 for Garuda. Why did my score get dragged down? What the heck happened there? So Garuda already off to a pretty solid start here. I mean, this war has been going on for less than an hour. They're up to 5 wins already.
Yeah, it's 5-2. It's looking like this could be one of the very few wars that is an exception to our minimum 10-8.
Maybe it's just different this season.
I mean, we've casted 10-8s up to this point for 1 or 2 weeks.
Oh, it's going to be the repeat. That does make a lot of sense. So that's repeat number 2. They have none left.
Okay, they're going for it. Why not? Heck it, man. But yeah, Hero is a solid deck to be repeating versus DM. By no means a guaranteed win, but should be favored overall.
Yeah, I mean, that back row destruction is very solid, and they can consistently dodge the targeting effects as well. And the monsters, you know, if you can establish one of those bigger guys, they have a tendency to just be bigger than Dark Magicians.
Yep, and we all know Heinz is a fan of bigger guys, so I'm sure he's hoping to see one of those as early as possible in this duel.
Absolutely. I'm a size queen. I'm my Chambot. I was gonna say, you know, do you think maybe it was a misplay from Rui in the last match not going for his Adoration, instead going for Trinity? I feel like an Adoration just sitting...
Yeah, Trinity was kind of an interesting call. I mean, I guess I don't know.
2 defense position monsters.
Yeah, Scorpio's lost.
And it's not like, even with Adoration and, you know, say a Stratos, he was still able to clear the, you know, Magician of Dark Illusion and the Dark Magician just by reducing the Dark Illusion by the stats of the Stratos.
The Dark Magician.
Yeah, I think Trinity was probably a mistake.
Yeah, there's, you know, when you Trinity, you have to consider the kind of the aftermath of what you're left with after your board wipe, and it's a 2500 monster, which does create some room for crashability. Although I guess the expanded would have been an issue either way, even if you went Adoration.
That's true.
The expanded was really the big kind of surprise factor that allowed DM to kind of keep its board presence.
It's a difficult card to play around as well. I mean, it's a one of, and if they don't search it, you just kind of have to guess. Especially now that they can run Magician of Dark Illusion. It's semi-limited, but you can also have, you know, one other tech slot as well. It's not like it's both of your semi-limited slots are taken up by a core card, like so many other semi-limits.
Yeah, very true. Although, I mean, that being said, like, ideally you probably do want to run 2 Vion. It lowers your deck ceiling a little bit if you're only running 1. Or you're talking about, sorry, never mind, you're talking about DM.
I think it works for both. Oh, Fusion Subs too. I really like this as a alternate to polymerization in this deck. I think it's very cool. Because most of the time they are fusing from the board. And let's reuse those monsters, those fusion monsters.
Well, the immediate draw 1 is also really nice as well. Because you can activate the draw 1 effect the same turn you use it, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You can banish it from the graveyard, target 1 fusion monster in your graveyard, return to the extra deck, then draw 1 card. I imagine that's even better in the TCG with main phase 2 and mask change.
Yeah, main phase 2 is pretty handy in situations like that. Alright, to battle phase.
Solid board we got here.
Yeah, we did see Circle only add a circle, so we really don't know if these back row are live at all or if they're even real.
This definitely seems like that Magician Navigation is very real, and
that does look pretty live. Alright, now at this point, Mass Change is still an issue. He'll likely try and banish out the Adoration. But that being said, Mass Change is still very much able to board wipe.
I just want to point out that Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl on the card art of Magician Navigation are coming out of some other realm, and Dark Magician is appearing to sniff his fingers as Dark Magician Girl is holding her crotch. I don't know what the implication is there, but maybe somebody could read into that for me.
Yeah, please let us know. Do the full lore research, or full lore research, thank you. Alright, so no mask change, which is, you know, pretty cool. Cyclone obviously created some issues, but mask would have been the real game ender there. DM still on board, going to be able to at least swing over something. Another circle, that was probably the one he added. Well, if you miss off circle once, you might as well just try it again.
I mean, I had a teacher in the 3rd grade tell me that if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Just open your 3-card combo again.
Yeah, that's what they always taught me in the 3rd grade.
Exactly.
Just open twice.
So we're going to swing over with DM here. Did keep Illusion in hand, which is interesting. Could potentially drop Illusion, and if he has another Navigation live, should win this duel. We do see the Illusion.
Dark Magician has obviously been practicing over time, if you pay attention, only holding up one finger in the card art of Illusion Magic.
Progressively getting more value out of his fingers as time progresses.
Wow, look at that one! He's got 5 of them out!
Easy.
Whoa!
Chill, Dark Magician. Chill, man.
And yeah, that's lethal on board.
Yep, that's it. Takes out the Adoration. Plenty lethal on board. Swinging in.
And buff Dark Magician gonna hit Ishizu with his rod even harder. And that's a 6-2 score. Omen's cool, moving on to 3-0.
And that's, I mean, that's really tough for Neo as well. Burn their last repeat on that. Really a matchup that heroes typically are able to win. So yeah, I mean, that's rough. We'll see what other kind of counter options they have for something like that. 2 players remaining, 4 decks.
Yeah, that's and you know what, real early on too. I mean, this war basically just started.
Yeah, we are, I mean, quite literally just hit the 1 hour mark. And we are potentially looking at cleaning up shop here soon if things keep going the direction of Garuda.
I mean, Resline's already got the broom to sweep up the booth as we're on our way out. I don't know.
She's pushing us out the door. She said, get out of here. Because she hates us.
Well, she makes me do the sweeping, but she does get me the broom, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's considerate of her. Probably is, you know, more of a Heinz job anyway.
Yeah. You know what they say? You bring Heinz to Team Wars, he sweeps.
That is what they say.
They don't.
They know about your sweeping background. You're great with brooms. Mops too if you need them. Gotta sweep up the ketchup. Rez, what are you implying?
No, you mop ketchup. You gotta hit it with the wet mop, and then you hit it with the dry mop. Yo, Frieza, what's good?
Scorp, you gotta quit looking away, man.
Honestly, I don't even know what the implication is. How are you even managing to peel your eyes off that screen, Scorpion? I didn't think it was possible.
How are you not locked in? Alright, yep, so looking at like a Sidra matchup though here.
Yeah, very favorable if you go first for Cyber Dragons.
Yeah, very ideal.
It didn't look
Looking like
he
a real
opened
strong opening
monsters,
as well. I mean, who needs them, you know? Forget about monsters. You just burn life points, and then you use your skill on the next turn to get monsters.
though. Yeah, true. Man, remember how broken Cyber Style was when it first dropped?
Honestly, I am kind of perpetually sad that that skill got hit. I fully acknowledge that it was too powerful of a skill. It definitely needed to be. But it was one of the most fun skills we've ever had, I think. It also enabled one of my all-time favorite like variants of a deck, which was like the original vampires that use cyber style and could use BLS.
Buster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. Yeah, I love that.
Now it was so cool to get it, and for some reason with that deck specifically, I had like the best luck, and I had so many like tournament duels or like team duels or whatever it be, and I would top BLS out of like, you know, who knows how many cards, 12 cards left or whatever, rip the one of cyber style and just blow an opponent out of the water.
Yeah, the chat saying Ultra Athletes as well is very good. And I
Yeah.
really liked Mask Tribute as a skill. That's another one that I missed. Mask Tribute was arguably more fair than Cyber Style, and you had to shuffle one back.
Yeah, I would say that was a step more in the fair direction. I, for some reason, wasn't as big of a fan of that particular skill, but I do acknowledge that it was a cool enabler.
Oh, we got Fusion Gate popping off here.
At Fusion Gate, we've got Chimera Tech, and he is staring down a monster that is too weak to allow Dark Magician to survive. Nice. Now there is a counter deck doing what it needed to do.
Yeah, it didn't have to burn a repeat to do it, so a little
Yep.
bit better that way. And we're down to 6-3 now on the scoreboard, so, you know, still anybody's war. You know, we're talking about how, you know, so early they're up to 6, but Cyber Dragon is one of those decks that can easily sweep through very, very quickly.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it's Team Wars, right? Like, you can see anybody come back at any point. One team may be up and may have some stronger momentum going for them, but we have absolutely seen comebacks in a lot of scenarios.
Didn't Wayne go like 7-2, or 7-1 on week 2, week 1?
I believe so. I mean, we see, you know, stuff like that happen all the time. Not all the time, but like definitely some standout performances that happen periodically when a team really needs somebody to step up.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen, you know, people like Wayne come from behind in the past. So, Swagonitis is 7-0 week 1.
Yep. 7-0 week 1.
What are you giggling at? 7-0?
No, you know, possibly something else that I expect to have possibly been a joke, but we won't acknowledge it.
It was a subtle.
It was subtle. All right, what are we seeing next? Looking like most likely Sabres 20 card Destiny draw.
That's another matchup you really do not want to be sending in, going second versus Cyber Dragons.
Yeah, especially not when they open core. That's like practically a GG. We'll see, but yeah.
Yeah, the core, Veer, Overflow.
Yeah.
And this is the Fusion Gate build. He didn't even bother setting another card. He's just like, look, I'm not going to bother even bluffing. I don't care. Make your stupid turn and get out of my face. I didn't say it.
Or what we might see is another, like, possibly another core and Veer combo in hand, right?
That's true.
Or at least another core to follow up. So he banishes off these, follows up with another core, fuses, and does some damage.
Now, the Egg69 is in the chat says, Cyber Dragon is too bricky. And honestly, sorry. Cyber Dragon is too bricky. And honestly, I don't like the fusion that attacks 47 times. It's dumb. He just doesn't like it because it's technology. Oh, he slams down the lap.
Yeah, so that was something I was maybe going to call out as it was happening. I was kind of surprised he let him search, and now also didn't toggle on and let him put lap on field with a palace. But here we are. 3 set. That's scary.
You whippersnappers and your electronic dragons and your smartphones and your flippity-doos.
That's just spot on. That's classic the egg. That is hashtag so egg.
Hashtag so egg.
Can I get some hashtag so eggs in the chat, please, for that Heinz impression?
Oh, but another Veer.
We do see another Veer. Now, it's not the core that I was potentially expecting, which means that he can't, unless he has a fusion spell in hand, he can't go into the fusion and wipe out all this back row.
I mean, the thing is, like you said, if he has the fusion spell in hand, what really do? You negate the overflow, and then the fusion comes out and just yeets your back row to pieces? Like,
I mean, that's the dream, right? Like, if you're Cyber Dragon, you're looking to yeet some back row, and you're looking to swing in 3 times versus a weak monster like Lap.
now, I do believe that Cyberload Fusion, it has a restriction of you can only activate the card once per turn, so if it is negated by a Lap, you could activate a second. Right? You can use a second.
Yep, specifically because Lap negates the activation. So for
He's got
anybody who...
Fusion Gate, though.
Ooh, okay.
Now, that's a tricky one. What do you do here?
Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. But yeah, little piece of like slightly more complicated ruling and card text wording and whatnot for anybody who might be watching and doesn't know some of that. Use and activate are considered 2 different things in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you only use a card, or if you can only use a card once, then it doesn't matter if activation is negated or not, or the effect is negated or not. But meanwhile, activation, to where you can only activate once, if activation is negated, you can still activate again, because it counts as not having been activated.
Beautifully stated. Also, we see the chain links here. We have Cybernetic Overflow as Chain Link 3, going to banish off 2 of those Cyber Dragons, the core and the Veer, from the game. And it hits a Floodgate and a Current. And there's the Cyberload Fusion. So
There it is. Oh my gosh, he had it all.
It was all for naught.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, you know what, ASAP Turtle? He is not just a pretty face. He also has deep game knowledge. And that's why we like him so much, you know? You can be entertained and educated all at the same time.
Yeah, Heinz and I made a deal where when we were picking our character stats, he would go 99 NADs and 1 IQ, but meanwhile, I would go 99 IQ and 1 NADs. So.
Oh, Lance Armstrong put all his in endurance, but only 1 NAD as well.
we do share that in common. You put me and Lance together, we are a regular pair of nads.
You know, actually, what's funny is the card Forbidden Lance is actually named after Lance Armstrong after the doping scandal. A lot of people don't know that.
That was a sort of quick and clever joke. I'll give you some props, but I also still am not a fan of you for it.
It was a kind of a 1-2 combo, because it was a joke about the nads and then also the Forbidden Lance thing.
Whoa, egg, explicit content. We call them nads here, all right? It's ambiguous. We could be talking about anything, you know?
Yeah, it's all kind of nads.
Yeah. Neo slowly bringing it back, though? Potential Cyber Dragon run?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Zane's not playing around when he says, "It's over for you. I summon Cyber Dragon, the end." See, the one that ends he says it's because it'll end the...
It does end things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know, when the end ends, it's perfect.
But the thing is, there's two ends to anything, really, you know? So it could be, you know, the first end, the starting end, or it could be the ending end.
Well, yeah, because the beginning can be the end. So
yeah, like it's just the front end, and then there's the back end. Yeah, and then there's also the business end.
So there's 3 ends to anything.
Yeah, that's why Cyber End Dragon has 3 heads.
Yep. Stay woke, everyone in chat. Keep up. Heinz is on that next level.
Entertainment and education, that's what we do here.
There it is. We're here to teach you. All right. We'll learn you something new today. Boys and...
Big brain bull learning and whatnot.
Boys and boy. because it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, there's no such thing as girls.
Nope.
Except in the card art.
True.
And we have Abyss coming in for Garuda.
All right. See what they can do if they can put an end to the Cyber Dragon run. Yeah.
Did you know that Cyber Dragons are just Thunder Dragons with armor?
I can't tell if you're doing that thing where sometimes you just say things, or if this is like actually a piece of card lore and you're like, oh, okay, all right.
You got Sartorius, so
Sartorius.
That's 30 cards, so you got to think Crystron.
Oh, heavy
right?
starter. Either Crystron or Blackwing, but most likely Crystron with 30. Yeah, you're right.
I've also seen people use... Oh, there it is. Crystron Sylphepnir. I've also seen them use Light Barrier as a skill, just for something as a free pop. I do believe that Gift was running Light Barrier in the top cut of the PCT this week.
Yep, he was. That was last night, actually. And there was... I distinctly remember a terrible caster casting that. What was his name? Heinz, it was...
Heinz.
Oh, no, but your name is Heinz, though.
No, I'm Mike. I'm I-Chan.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Nightbot will tell you.
Yep.
The casters of this game are I-Chan Bot and Guy Bossus.
It's me, Guy Bossus. Watch out.
It sounds like a sausage.
It sounds like a chef.
I'm Chef Guy Bossus coming through,
It's
coming
me.
high. I got your sauce. Hot and
Cooking up
fresh.
some nasty calls for all you boys
Cooking
and
up
boy.
some nasty
in
calls.
chat.
Resley Naskin, does that mean you'll be playing a dancing game for us?
Ooh, Heinz, are you an IRL streamer?
Sometimes,
chatting?
Sometimes just chatting. And you know what? I'm going to go fetch my yoga pants and turn that cam on. And here we go. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well as OnlyFans.
If you're tuning into a Heinz stream, you're either seeing just chatting or you're seeing just dance. All right, it's got to have just in the word or in the title.
That's right.
And,
also,
and that's what Heinz
Queen
streams.
Mimi in the chat. What's up, Mimi? How are you?
I see what you did there. I don't like it, but I see it.
Yeah, this is probably just annoyed Mimi. That's probably the only thing I accomplished.
And Mimi's gone.
Yeah, viewer from 124 to 123.
I do actually see the viewer count at 123 right now. 122. We're losing them, Heinz. Each of these jokes slowly makes one person leave the chat.
Scorpion says it annoyed us. Yo, you want to know one of the best jokes I ever got in my chat one time was I was talking about my Mac that I got like years ago. It's like 10 years old now, and it's to the point where like the RAM, like it's so backed up with like old files and everything that's so slow. It's hardly even functional. It basically can be used to run nothing but Netflix. 20 to 30 terabytes of porn max. Anyway, so I was talking about it, and I was like, I basically just use it to hold open the blinds for my window. And this guy in the chat goes, but I thought Macs couldn't support Windows.
That's pretty good.
That's just that was so clever.
All right. I expected it to be really bad, and it was really good. Chat, I was pleasantly surprised. I hope the same goes for you.
Yeah, I was real happy about how clever it was. It was just like, that's exactly my kind of humor.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, though. Slowly but surely seeing Cyber Dragon try and make a push here.
Don't call me Shirley.
Call you whatever I need to, Heinz. Shirley. You listen here.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
There it is.
So double Sylphepnir. He's about to summon a Crystron twin Sylphepnir dragon.
Yep. As we know, all archetypes contain a twin boss monster.
Honestly, they should. Like,
That'd be cool. Twin-headed thunder. Twin-headed Cyber Dragon. Or Cyber Twin Dragon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it started with, like, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon just fusing 3 of them things together.
Of dem tings.
Yeah.
You sounded way too cool there for about 2 seconds. And then I went back to remembering that
Just
we're
who I
people
was.
who cast Yu-Gi-Oh! On a Saturday night.
Look, we're in quarantine, okay?
That's true. You know what? Well, obviously we're cool, all right, guys. We wouldn't be casting this if,
You would
if
catch
we weren't
me
in quarantine.
here. Yeah, it's I just started the season.
Yeah, we're
Nothing
new,
better
all right?
to do.
We picked this up as a hobby for when we're not busy out, you know.
Smashing puss.
Yeah, and smoking whole packs of cigarettes at a time.
Because that's what cool people do.
That's what cool people do. Alright, Cyber Dragon Veer. Another Cyber Dragon Veer. Doing some boosting of each other. 2600 defense.
That's the kind of teamwork I like to see as well, you know? They're really just holding each other together, holding each other up, supporting one another, just like you and me.
Heck yeah. That's what we're here for. And we're here to watch this Fusion Gate result in a thick boy monster.
Yo, you think he opened up double concentrated current? I mean, he blew one for that core. You think he's just got another one in the back?
Yeah, it was unfortunate to have to see him blow the one on core. But we'll see if he's got another. It could be interesting. If he does, it's probably just game.
And speaking of Encore, we're about to see this Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon attack once and then have a couple of Encores.
Hines, you are killing it tonight on the quick jokes. I'm impressed. That's all.
Thanks.
I, have
I
to
wrote
say.
these down before the stream. I just happened to know that was going to come up.
I don't know how that's possible, but okay. I
would argue that that's
impressed.
more, more impressive if I did.
All right,
How did you manage to steer the conversation like that? Oh, he clogged his board up.
You could arguably say I managed to Cyber Dragon veer the conversation like that, as
Shut up.
He does make it. Couple of things to note here is that impact didn't have any targets that were like tuners that could summon anything out. Even if they were, he'd be able to attack that tuner first.
Yeah,
so
he's got his front end all clogged up anyway. So
yeah, it's minimal threat at that point.
And also,
so
you know
look
what?
like-
Actually, it did accomplish overall is
What?
that the if he did have concentrated current, the monsters do have 0 defense now on CU's side of the board. So concentrated current is basically a card with no effect at this point.
That is true, actually. I didn't think about that, but that's a really good point. Because I was about to say that like we see him not use current on any of the attacks, so like presumably he didn't have it if he didn't use it on the first attack. But you make a way better point, which is that defense got reduced to 0, so he wouldn't be able to use it.
Mordecai saying he could have fused again. I suppose if he had the overflow, but he didn't use the fusion support, so. Mimi says, what skill is this for Crystron? It is heavy starter.
Yeah, heavy starter.
Cybernetic overflow, gonna yeet that thing off the board here. And man, he has got a lot of fuel.
Yeah, he does.
Core effect engrave. You what? Don't you have to have no monsters on the board? You can only use one. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters.
Yeah.
What you talking about? Now, that's a hard once per turn on until Fafnir effect. He did not use the first one, though, right? Oh, he did. He brought up the Citri.
Yeah. Yep.
Hello?
That's where Citri came from. So, strong board wipe. Now, again, Crystron's really known for recovering, though. Like, they have fuel in the grave right now to be able to do that. We do see the Smyger Banish out, which adds a Crystron spell or trap, typically Impact. So Impact will be able to bring something else back. Sulf potentially can discard something from hand. If it really wanted to, it can discard the Impact, which it does.
Alright, now I do know that Mordecai is something of a Cyber Dragon expert, so I'm just going to scroll up and just check to see what the board state looked like at the beginning of that turn. Because he concentrated Current, he had the core, This thing's scrolling on me every time something happens, so I can't really
Oh,
see.
he did. He started out by summoning Veer, chaining another Veer summon, I think.
Yeah, so he could have used the core in the grave, right? Because he wasn't going to use the other core effect. So Mordecai is absolutely correct.
Yeah, he's more woke than us.
I mean, he plays the deck quite a lot. I do believe he's been playing some other things more recently, but he definitely played a lot of Cyber Dragons. And if I'm going to respect anybody's opinion, or
Yeah.
correct myself on anybody's opinion, it's definitely going to be Mordecai, because he's a very consistent player with Cyber Dragons and just in general.
Yeah, you gotta trust people who dedicate themselves to a deck, right?
Yeah, and Karate Man mats.
True. You know, if you ever meet somebody who has dedicated himself to his mat, sleeves, and icon, that's the crucial part. All to Karate Man. You trust that guy, all right? I don't care who he
What
is.
if you commit yourself to a lovely lady?
You could, but usually it's either one or the other between a lovely lady and Karate Man. So, you gotta kind of prioritize in life.
Yeah, I guess, it really just leaves you with one choice.
I know. You gotta commit yourself to the lovely Karate Man.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, back off. All right. All right, Cyber Twin incoming. Takes out Sam Destroyer, does some more damage.
800 life points remain. And let's take a look to see what that grave looks like for Abyss here. It's still definitely anybody's game. He's got the Crystron Thistvern in the grave, a couple Soul Fafnirs. He discards the Teus for the Abyss Spike, which is not something you'd see too often. Usually you see these guys activate in opposite order.
Yep. Does add Smyger. Banishes out Thistvern to add a Crystron monster from deck to hand. Chooses to add the Crystron Rion. Rion is the new semi-limit for Crystrons. So, 2 of.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice for Crystrons not to... that's
Oh.
a nasty overflow.
There it is.
Nice for the opponents of Crystrons not to have to worry about an econ take sack for sure.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Soul floats
that
into
is
Rosenix. That is
not a
not what
tuner.
you want. That is very well described.
Wait, he's... Does he just not have another Citry? Is he only running 2?
You know, I've seen people only running 2 lately. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I've certainly seen it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, so you taking another one, 3-0 with Cyber Dragons, and that's a matchup that most people would consider heavily in favor of Crystrons with all that floating, and see you handled it perfectly.
Also, see you really trying to bring this back. I mean, at one point they were 6-3. Like that's a little gloomy, but now at this point 6-5 is, a heck of a lot better.
And I would have to assume that they're going to repeat that. Yeah, Ryu Ash saying they will indeed repeat that matchup. And, I mean, it's really to be expected.
Yeah. Actually, not to steal any of CU's credit. Thinking back, they were 6-2 at one point, not 6-3. I mean, 6-3 as well, but you can get what I'm saying. CU's really bringing it back, is my point.
Mordecai says, I respect his ability to consistently rip core off the top of the deck. You know better than anybody that that's a skill that can't be taught.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mordecai, I mean, there definitely is some skill involved in Cyber Dragon, but like that's your primary thing you want to be doing.
So Mermail Abyssteus dropping the Crystron Soul Fafnir, grabbing the Abyss Spike. And you'll see that Abyss Spike come up later as he will be able to grab a Crystron Semige or Thistvern. And this is almost a tied game now, eh? Like just like that, I brought it so close.
I know. If Cyber Dragon can make one more big push through this, then like that's tied up. That's a huge advantage state. It's a lot of momentum.
I would definitely have to say that it's much more in Crystron's favor going first.
Yeah, that's very true. And they do seem to have pretty much all the pieces they need to be making plays happen as well.
And heavy starter coming up for Crystron's as well. Not only opening the Abysteus, but also the Crystron Sulfafnir.
Yep.
Scorpion saying he went first last game. That could be possible.
Yeah, there's really no way to know.
You have to rewind and...
No one saw it. No one was here. And I say that because I don't remember either. So my bad.
Yeah, I really should be paying attention. My short-term memory is about as good as the goldfish.
Yeah. I feel you.
So we do see Core Veer one set in the back. He did surge that overflow, so you'd have to
Yep.
expect that's what it was.
Yep, that is presumably the case. I'm going to swing in with Core. Try and swing over Citri, which prompts the summon. Summons out this turn. We'll go into Amatrix here. Ooh, Cosmic Cyclone, that's huge.
Yeah, this is boding better and better for Crystron's with every passing moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting that to have been an impact, but that is colossally important for that to have been a Cyclone. It's not like Crystron's cutting a 1, but like that makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Oh, for sure. I mean, really, just not getting your cards blown up is just a lot easier for anything.
Yeah. When you get to choose between having your cards blown up or not, yeah, it's usually one's a little more ideal for winning.
Well said. I would say, too, that Cosmic Cyclone seems to be one of the more preferred back row techs for Crystron's as of late. I think just, you know, it's so scary not having an inherent out to Necro Valley that you pretty much have to run Cosmic, and it also just helps compete with the Sealed Tombs.
Yeah, very true for sure. That's good in general too, right? I mean, like you can Cyclone away like a Dark Magical Circle as an option if somebody sends in DM to try and counter or, you know, do something to your Crystron's.
So it does give him Cyber Style by swinging in with the Sulfafnir. And
Yep,
a 4-card
Cyber Style
hand
only
of
for
Dragons.
1. Yep, 4-card hands as well. Good point. We'll see if there's any spicy text or follow-ups coming out.
Cyber Dragon.
Summons out regular Cyber Dragon. Okay.
How do you
New
feel about this
artwork as
artwork?
well. What was that? Sorry.
How do you feel about this artwork? Do you like this, or...?
I think it's kind of cool. I think it's cool that we got an alternate artwork as a kind of like a selection box card. I wish the selection boxes were more about stuff like just a cool alternate artwork for like meta-defining cards that don't show up for 7 months after they've dropped from the selection box and regular
Basically
boxes. But you know,
go out of their way to get an entire deck banned.
yeah,
Like,
you
yeah,
know,
I agree. I agree with that.
I wouldn't be mad. Like I think it'd be a cool, just like nice thing for us if they just gave us like some neat artwork or like some, you know, more like cool stuff versus turning selection boxes into a money grab. But yeah,
I've
the
kind of
artwork's
always
cool.
felt that way about you know, any kind of game like that where you really do like to see exclusive things being aesthetic mostly.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like if they're gonna do a reprint box like that and gonna make it expensive as heck, I would prefer it to not be like also meta defining for literally one card. But you know, it is what it is.
I mean, how cool would it be to get those Dark Side Dimension, or even like the OG Red Eyes? Remember how long we were waiting for that?
Wait for.
The OG Red Eyes art, like Structure Deck Joey.
Oh
Red Eyes?
yeah, yeah. Okay, no, I get what you mean now. Yeah, yeah.
No,
I thought you just
Red
meant the
artwork
card.
kind of sucks.
Yeah, man, that artwork is just so much worse than OG. Absolutely agree. But yeah, that did take us a long time to get that.
Or like in the selection box, they could also add something like the Legend of Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes. We haven't got that yet.
We have not seen that artwork yet, have we?
Oh, we just got ugly tablet Blue Eyes. That one stinks.
I really like the like that blue or the blue eyes, like the
OG
TV
one
show
with, like,
version. Yeah.
That was the. I'm so happy that I picked up the playset of that when it was available.
I don't think I have them. I'm not sure. But either way, that's the best Blue Eyes artwork in my opinion. You can't change my mind.
I don't even think I'd want to.
You can't. Stop trying.
This is nice for Abbas here. It looks like he's going to try to go into a Samurai Destroyer, which is such a strong card against Cyber Dragons. It could just float into itself. And yeah, we see probably the correct overflow here from CU. Gonna take that Citri out right away.
Yeah, you gotta stop the synchro there.
Hit him with that cyber treacherous trap hole.
You know.
He still gets the Amatrix back though, which is kind of neat.
Yep.
Do I have all 4 copies? No, Mordecai, I have 3. I have 1 Prismatic OG Blue Eyes, and then 2 non-glossy, and then I have 1 non-glossy original Dark Magician.
What were those Blue Eyes available from?
I think it was like the 1-year anniversary or something.
I'm gonna check between rounds if I have them or not. I'm curious.
Yeah, there's some ticket,
back.
or I don't even know if they were a ticket. I think you just selected it. I don't even think they were tickets at that point.
I know that somehow you can get 3 of the OG Dark Magician or the Yugi like TV show Dark Magician artwork as well, but I don't know how.
Yeah, there was only it was the same event, and you could have there was 4 total of them like tickets, but they were like you could only choose 4 total, so you can have like 2 of each or like 1 prismatic and like 3. It was just yeah. I don't remember it well, but I remember well enough that I have the 3 OG Blue Eyes, and I've kept them for that entire time. I managed not to convert them somehow.
I don't know if I can't tell you the last time I've converted cards in general. I'm sitting at like 99 copies of some of the super common dual drop ones.
I convert them for getting prismatics from the card trader.
See, I don't do too many prismatics from, I lose too many card trader ones.
And we do see Avis taking the win there with Kristrons.
Alright, finally getting the win that Kristrons was probably better paired up to have gotten in the first place. But absolutely no shame to see you pulling out a 3-1 run with that Crystron deck. Curious to see what he's got coming up next as well.
Yeah, and these guys are, you know, packing some heat too, so. I do wonder if, you know, you kind of have to expect that they're going to send in Kristrons, and you're likely to lose with Cyber Dragons. So I wonder if he's got something to deal with Kristrons in the back.
Yeah, we'll see.
Looks
I
like
mean,
it actually might be a mirror match, but with C Stealth Attack coming through for CU.
interesting.
Who do you favor?
Between Sea Stealth Attack and regular, again, I've told you this before. I'm not the Crystron player, so your opinion on this is probably way better than mine.
Yeah, but people don't want to hear my opinion.
That's true. I mean, presumably Sea Stealth Attack, right? Maybe.
I think so. I think it does. I mean, just dealing with
so.
Stupid dolphin is just. You basically need your Samurai Destroyer. And
yeah.
Keep in mind, Sea Stealth Attack doesn't actually mind their monsters getting an Umi debuff nearly as much. Score should be 7-5. You are correct. Sometimes I'm just having so much fun, I forget what I'm doing.
And other times he just forgets.
This is one of those times. Oh, Cosmic,
Yeah.
that's the great equalizer in this matchup, as he
All
clears
right,
that
yep.
Yumai. But
That's
thank you,
huge.
Interest.
Yeah, I think for as long as you've got SSA actually active, that's advantageous, because your monsters can just, you know, they never really truly bump with each other in terms of attack and defense. They just kind of clash, and then you lose to SSA. Without Sam Destroyer, at least. But yeah, after Umi is removed from play by Cyclone, it gets a little more interesting.
He went straight to Citrioth, that's little Fefnir.
Yeah, he did.
Huh. Ooh, the tricky. Are we going to see an African-American
okay.
Rose Dragon?
Possibly. Also, Prisma Stitchery, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed that in the last game. I was going to mention it, but we've been, chatting so happily. I just...
Nah. But not the worst Prisma to have by any means.
And yeah, Frieza, Umi does affect both sides. So, not actually going for the Black Rose, just said, nah, I'm just going to summon a Tricky. Now, he could have made a Fortune Lady Every there with those combination of cards as well. Arcanite Magician, another option.
Yep, depending on what he has the extra deck space for. Heavy starter Crystons are going to be running a little tight on extra deck space and got 1,000,001 options on what they can pick and only so much space.
Not so tricky now, are you, as you go into defense
Haha.
position?
And lose all of your defense points.
Cool card, though. I'm really a big fan of the Tricky.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool one. That came out with spellbooks in that mini box way back in the day. Periodically sees use here and there in decks that want to discard or need a spellcaster.
Oh, that's a live Quarian Gandrax.
That is, and that can be pretty big.
Yeah, I made with Assault Mode, I made a deck that used the Tricky and Plague Spreader Zombie. And I know that Fabled Cerberus is a thing, but because I was using Gateway to Chaos, you could shuffle back the searchables, things like Gaia, into the deck, and then use the Gateway. It was,
Bro,
really cool.
you just named so many cards that have never been meta relevant.
Well, because you get infinite
But it does
destructions
sound
off the
fun.
Gateway to Chaos with the Arcanite Magician.
I'm just out here like having to take an extra couple seconds to process which of like each of these cards is though. I'm like, wait, okay, yep, Tricky and Fabled and Gateway to Chaos. Yep, that's the Gaia field spell of the BLS. Okay,
Yeah.
yep.
And every time a monster goes from the hand or field to the graveyard, it gets a spell counter. So Arcanite can take a spell counter from anywhere on the field
my God.
and blow up a card. So you blow up monsters, you get infinite spell counters, and you get infinite destructions. So it was fun.
It does sound cool.
It is. It is.
Speaking of like very old niche decks that could blow things up, shout out to the old Skull Lair deck.
Oh, true.
With, what was the name of that fiend card?
Oh man, what is it called?
He's the little
Doomsday Horror? Is
Tuesday
that...
Horror. That's him. Yep. That was like one of my favorite decks way back in the day.
I have no idea where that came from, like in terms of my like internal memory bank.
But that was
somehow
impressive,
that
yeah.
bubbled up from my subconscious. So
Yeah, that card has not seen any play in literally over 2 years. All right, that is that's a tech option we've been seeing pop up slowly but sure, kind of here and there in Crystons over this last like week or so. Specifically in the heavy starter variant, because they have a little bit more tech space, which is one of their kind of trade-offs, pros cons versus
He
SSA.
brought back his own Citry.
Mm-hmm.
I would have taken the opponents, just so we can't bring it back with an impact or anything.
Yeah.
But hey. What you gonna do?
Yeah. Okay, so heavy starter. This for an activates. Adds in a Smiger. Smiger gonna likely pop itself.
Not gonna lie to you, that was the most random use of the term heavy starter. Where did that come from?
I was just pointing out which deck.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
way more sense. But I was like, why did you say that?
Oh,
He was
no,
like,
no.
all right, heavy starter, middle of
didn't-
the duel. Like, I was like,
No,
what?
sorry. I had probably poorly specified, but my intent was to specify which of the two Crystron players was,
Gotcha. All right.
you know.
And we got everybody going to defense now due to the Amatrix. Now, this is something I want to point out here. CU has 3 cards left in his extra deck. Now, look at the extra deck of Abyss. The board for CU looks so much cleaner, right? Like, it's like, oh my god, look at, he's got Fist Ferns in the grave and everything. But he's running out of cards.
It's true. It's a really good point, actually. Like, there's in a Crystron mirror, like, it's going to come down to how many like synchros you can go into. You slowly but surely grind through your opponent's synchro options, and then eventually they start to run out of like good follow-ups. But I mean, one of these players clearly has more extra deck options remaining. So,
And if we look at the graveyard of CU as well, Ryan, as you correctly pointed out earlier, is now semi-limited. So he's down to that tuner. He's going to search out a tuner here with that Gen X controller. Well, he's going to search out the Gen X controller by way of the Gen X Undyne. So he's actually going to go probably like +3 this turn, because he's got the Thistfern in the grave. And then he's also got the Smyger now in the grave. And he's just went +1 for that Gen X controller. So he's going to get a lot of cards, but really in a situation like this, what are they actually doing? None of the cards on board are tuners. None of them can access a tuner directly.
yeah.
To be used on the board, and Abyss is still sitting on another Amatrix in the extra deck. He still has Aquarian that he can go into at the drop of a hat. It really looks to me like Abyss is in a commanding position based on resources alone, even though technically he has fewer resources available in terms of card economy.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Crystron's, right? And you know this better than anybody, but just like the way Crystron's play is not necessarily how many resources they have on board. They're a very grave and sometimes even banish reliant deck, depending on card interactions. And so, I mean, they're able to recover from just about anything.
Yeah,
It's kind of the primary strength of the deck.
one of the nastiest things that Abyss is doing right now is his ability to protect that Samurai Destroyer, and that's what, the second Amatrix down? So it's not going to defense position again. And Quarian's down as well. How do you deal with it? You need to make your own Samurai Destroyer and crash in with it.
Yeah.
And really, the only way to do that is to impact at which he does have and grab the Citry and put another one of your tuners in the grave and burn another one of your precious synchros to crash with the opponent.
Yeah, CU is clearly just unfortunately a little behind on basically synchro resources, which in the mirror is like the primary resource you're gonna have to watch.
Yeah, this is honestly a mirror that takes a lot more positioning than most.
Yeah, it's a very like long, grindy mirror. Just kind of slowly keeping yourself in, a more advantageous recoverable position than the opponents.
Now, one thing that is also important is Abyss doesn't have anything to float into off of his own Amatrix. So even if there was, I'm so worried that we're going to see a Black Rose here. But it is, in fact, the Samurai Destroyer.
Yeah, typically, it would have been a really good option, but typically, not really the extra deck room in a SSA variant of Crystron 4 Black Rose, unfortunately.
And he does have a Gen X controller in the hand that we know of. And it goes out into the Crystron Soul Fafnir. The other question is, for CU, is what is his last synchro? Because sometimes it's not Black Rose Dragon in the Sea Stealth. Sometimes it's White Oral Dolphin. Sometimes it's not a Paladin Zectron. He probably does have a Paladin Zectron, but Bryanak Dragon of the Ice Barrier, which would actually stop the Samurai Destroyer from floating and clear that, but it would just give more extra deck resources to Abyss. So it's definitely an interesting spot for CU. I wonder how he's going to deal with this situation.
Yeah, I agreed on that part. Presumably, though, not guaranteed to be a Crystron Impact face down. Or did we see a Smyger search for Abyss at any point? I can't remember. I'm trying to scroll back here.
No, I don't believe we did. I think he drew that card and set it.
Okay.
He banished his Smiger for a Citri earlier. We've actually seen a couple. He does have the impact, so he probably hard drew it. My memory might just be...
I'm looking
fading.
back. I'm not seeing anything.
I've seen a lot of Smiger searches for our boy CU. Oh, Scrap Recycler getting a mill as well. And you know what's actually kind of funny about Crystron's right now as well?
What's that?
The nerf has actually opened up about 4 deck spaces, so they actually have a few more toys to play with because they now don't run their semi-limiteds because they run the Ryons as their semi-limiteds.
Right.
And then they also don't run the Crystal Beasts. So even if they go up to 30 cards, they remain fairly consistent, and they have some extra space to play with. And that's 2 more cards down for CU. And really the only question is, what's in the extra deck? Is it Powered Zektron and Bryanek, or is it Black Rose Dragon, which would be awful in this situation, and Powered Zektron? Or is it Black Rose and Bryanek?
Yeah, he's really got to kind of hope it's a Bryanek. At that point, would actually probably be pretty good.
It would be the best thing.
Oh
we could
my
have,
gosh,
and
it
we
actually might be
right here. Unfortunately, only 1 card left in the hand, and he scopes
Oh,
it out or
no.
loses the time. I don't
I'm
know,
guessing
but
that was
Avis
time.
takes it, and Garuda leading with an 8-5 score.
Well, because he could have gotten 2 cards in hand. Because he summoned this Fern, so he would have synchroed with this Fern. He would have been able to add off this Fern.
Oh, true. So he would have been able to bounce both, leave his opponent at 600 life.
Yeah, minimum 2. That's unfortunate. Can we get a confirmation if that was... I'm trying to check real quick. If that was time limit loss or what happened?
I really wish it would tell us, but that was probably more entertaining for me than for anybody in the chat. But
if you're into
says
Crystron's.
impact negates. So yeah, he wouldn't be able to bounce the Amatrix. He did have the impact in the grave.
Oh,
he wouldn't be able to bounce the Samurai Destroyer.
Yeah.
And Samurai Destroyer would not float due to the new rulings as well.
So
back to the extra deck.
I'm trying to remember. Did Avis have anything engraved for Amatrix to float into though?
Well, he made the last Amatrix with a Citri on board, and I think something else, but he might have searched something with it. I can't remember now. But he did make it with the Citri on board. So he did have at least a Citri. Oh yeah, Citri and Scrap Recycler.
Oh, yep.
So we have what looks to be 24 card Yami Yugi coming through for Massa, and he will be starting us off here. And you have to suspect that's going to be Element Sabers, which does have a pretty solid Crystron matchup, I would say.
Yeah.
Being able to flip tuners down. I would say a lot of it comes down to, knowing when to, but...
Agreed. Yeah, Sabers, for the last kind of long while now, actually, has been very much about knowing how and when to disrupt your opponent. Similar to kind of DM's primary, play point as well. Yep, Heavy Starter as the skill for Crystron for Kanda, asking in chat.
So we have Alistair Search Invocation, set 1 and pass. That's probably not the best way to deal with Crystrons.
Yeah, it's not necessarily ideal at all. The nice thing is that Crystrons give you a bunch of waters in your grave to be able to make some fusions with. Or at least make a fusion with for Casitas.
Yeah, a nice limited one. That's a solid pair of cards in hand, though. A Thistvern and the Abyssteus. That's basically Transcendent Crystals right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid +1. Get your Solfefnir in the hand. And he has the Abyss Spike to put the Solfefnir in the grave and search out a Smiger. It's probably the optimal opening for Heavy Starter.
Now, have you been able to mess around with the Heavy Starter variant much? I know it is kind of a new adaptation of the deck since the ban list dropped about a week ago.
Well, to be fair, I had actually suggested it in anticipation of a Crystron nerf. So I was definitely aware of it, and I was testing it before all this happened. He's actually setting a monster, which is interesting as well, leaving no fuel in the graveyard for that Alistair the Invoker. So it was something it was on my radar, but there's also a couple other skills and things that I've been toying with, and I would say I didn't play Edu's list, which is very interesting. It uses a very similar composition from what we've seen from Abyss so far, using the Abyss Teos, search out the pikes. Or maybe he was playing Transcendent Crystal still. I think he was, but he was playing 3 pikes, which is interesting. Edu has a very interesting list. And I do like Metal Overdrive using the Tricky. Thought that was very cool as well.
Yep.
So, but I was more looking at Machina Fortress with a couple other different fun things. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve, let's just put it that way.
I like it.
I'm not playing Heavy Starter myself.
Okay, fair. Yeah, we've seen a few. I guess I would say like the build for particularly the Heavy Starter is pretty undefined right now. I mean, there's like a general concept to it, but as far as like the specific tech monsters you use, like Tricky's something we see show up. Machine is another option, like you mentioned. Mermilibestius being another one. I've seen some kind of variety floating out there as well, so you don't quite know the exact thing to look out for, but yeah. Do you see a Lance come out, which is super not ideal?
You can't fuse off the Alistair now.
No.
Oh, but he's got the Alistair set as well, so he has the Purgatrio.
Yep, does manage to get to Purg, which is huge.
And he's got that Barista Squad. He's going to take care of it right away. And he discards the tributes off the Smiger as well, which will give him a search on his own turn.
Okay. Pike coming in, discard this Fern.
Just look at the searches from this graveyard right now. Oh my.
I know.
And he discarded the Ryan.
Yeah, he did kind of an interesting choice there, actually. I guess maybe just didn't have another option.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun having to discard Ryan these days with the semi-limit taking its effect. This is a clogged up board, though. I don't know how you deal with Purg number 2 that seems almost inevitable at this point.
I know. Unless you can win this turn. But I don't know that I see that happening. But yeah, Purg is a huge threat to non-SSA variant Chrystrons. It's a massive board wipe and tons of piercing damage. Does summon out a level 2 Sitri. Uses Smiger's effect, search out the impact.
I mean, if he's playing Vermilion Dragon Mech, which is something Metal Overdrive and I were talking about the other day, is if he has that, it actually would work out very well for him. I thought it was kind of a cool tech just because... No, it's going to level 6. So I thought it was kind of a cool tech because you would be able to recycle those tuners that you discard.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, that extra deck space. But it would have been lethal there.
That's true. Brionic also would have been lethal there.
This is one of the things about Heavy Starter that I don't particularly like is you're kind of forced to use level 7s. And the level 7s don't mesh well with your traditional extra deck that you're so familiar with as a Crystron player.
Yeah, that's probably actually the biggest complaint I've heard about, or like pushback I've heard from whether or not Heavy Starter is really like the way to be running Crystrons right now, is that the level 7s are just awkward bodies on board, right?
Yeah, that's correct, Kooks. It would have been almost a guaranteed lethal with the exception of a Sphere Karibo if he had Vermilion.
Yeah. Yeah, presumably he just did not have a level 9 to go into there. Or at least not a Vermilion.
Well, I mean, it's like, what are you going to cut, really? Like, you die so often if you don't have access to that Insectron.
Yeah, to that point I had made earlier, like, it's just extra deck space is really tight for this deck, right? Like, you've got 1,000,001 options, but you can only pick a few of them with 6 cards. Some of them are going to be pretty standardly built in, like 2 Amatrix is pretty much something you always want. Insectron is something that really helps you survive. You pretty quickly start to run out of space for too many tech synchros. Oh my gosh.
And Massa got to take the game there with that Purgatrio Pierce.
Yep.
And you're looking around there, you see that there's no, even if he had that impact, which we knew he did, he had a Citry Vanish, but nothing to go into. The Insectron was already on the board, his only target was level 4. And I mean, that's the problem with the Mermails, is that the levels are just so awkward for the deck. As much as
yeah, it's like, it's a cool concept, right? It clearly does certain things to help set the deck up and at least start out doing what it intends to do. But yeah, the more you introduce a wider variety of levels, like the less you're going to be able to consistently synchro into any particular monster.
Which is really why they used the level 3s and Transcendent Crystals, right? It was because it was so consistent with the summons of Amatrix off of the Citries.
Yeah, you would just always know what you're going into, right? And like the deck primarily focuses around like level 2s, level 3s, and then the occasional level 5. So like you very clearly know like what your options are, which is nice. But as you have to start adding in more like tech monsters like this, then suddenly you've got like some 4s in there, you've got some 7s in addition to your 2s and 3s and stuff, so.
I am going to take a short break for nature, and I'll be right back for the next match. I will leave you to entertain the crowd by your lonesome. Practice that stand-up comedy that you've been touring the clubs with.
All right. So chat, what's the deal with, no, I'm not even going to say it. I'm sorry. I hate myself for that. And yeah. But no, guys in chat, hello. How we doing? Appreciate you guys sticking around for it. I know it's, for anybody NA, it's pretty quickly starting to approach some late times, 1 a.m. East, or anything a little bit earlier as time zones dial back. Greg, the deal with what? Finish it. You'll never know. Now it's a mystery. We've switched from comedy to mystery. But no, yeah, this has been it's been a fun war. We saw Neo start out with some pretty solid spice. We saw a few interesting things like Lunalight Lightsworn, as well as a repeat on that deck for anybody that opened up. We saw 2 30-card Shira decks paired with each other, also from Neo. So spiciest lineup award definitely goes to them. And then we've seen some pretty consistently solid options coming from Garuda. CU, big shout outs to him for trying to tie things up and bring it back, putting his team within arm's reach of still having a win here. And yeah, I mean, Garuda has solidly held this lead the whole way through, though, so props to them for doing well. A lot of Siders. Yeah, I agree with that.
Hi, we back.
Hey.
How did it go? How did your material go?
It was good. I started Joe. and then I chose to not finish it, and then
Oh,
it
that's
left
good. I like
Greg
that.
triggered. Yep, it left Greg triggered, and now he'll never know. I opened up with a, so what's the deal with, and then
Oh,
now
nice.
Greg wants to know what the deal with what is, and he doesn't. We got him.
See, this is what happens when I've spent so much time with Monkey Boy. See, I never let him finish, and then now he's afraid to.
That's true. I am, yeah, that's my life. Welcome to hanging out with Heinz, guys. Wouldn't recommend it under any circumstance.
None. Nothing at all. All right, we have Zerdy coming in, not to be confused with QWERTY. That's a ref. And we all know that the refs can't play Yu-Gi-Oh, so...
Alright, 30. Show us what you got. So Garuda did take a bit of time there, trying to decide what their best option to send in was going to be. They do have 2 players left, so they're trying to just make sure they can lock in the win as best they can.
Yeah, I mean, they probably really want to get this guy out of here quickly, just so they can protect their round differential as well. Being so early in the season, establishing an early lead can be doing wonders for you late season.
Exactly, that's a really huge point, actually. That's something on a lot of teams' minds those first few weeks is like, all right, let's just get ahead as much as we can. Obviously, win if you can, but ideally, if you're able to win with a lead, like that's pretty cool because that helps out a lot down the road.
Well, especially if you're going up against teams that are just full of monkey players. Like, I'll let you give an example.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yo, Mock Dragon in the chat was good.
Oh my god, Mock Dragon, what up? Tom the Kid earlier up in chat. I kind of figured Neil would lose when they sent Lightsworn Luna as the first deck.
I thought
Hey,
they were going
man.
to sweep 10-0 when they did that.
I was hoping for a 10-0. That would have been the most lit war to cast ever.
You know,
10-0 from Lightsworn
Step
Luna.
away, Shells. And the best part would be, like, if it never worked again, like other teams try to replicate it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And
Like
then
it was just
everybody
somebody who
gets
just
2
got
0.
it.
Yo,
Yeah, that would
Breasty
be-
Mario in the chat with that Heinz K-Pog? What? Man, look at that. Beastie's got a 24-month subscriber, a founder badge in Duel Links Team Wars, and he is a Heinz Ketchum sub. Man, that's how you know that the people are really here out supporting the casters, supporting the Team Wars, supporting the league, the referees, everybody. Beastie, the GOAT.
Yeah, BC's been around for pretty much forever for Duel Links, so big shout out to that guy.
And pretty weird that he just kind of popped out of the woodwork as soon as the Dark Magical Circle hit the board as well.
True. Beastie, known for playing Dark Magician. Could this possibly be Beastie playing on stream, disguised as another player? Most likely not, but stay tuned.
There's a lot of people I would suspect to be colluding with other teams, perhaps. But I would say Beastie is as tried and true, as loyal to his team as anybody could ever be. And I wouldn't expect it from him.
Very true. He's a good dude.
Dom, this is Team Wars. Asking the wrong guy.
Wrong channel, unfortunately.
But I'll think about it. I need a back rub.
Yeah. I don't even know. Do you have mod powers here? I don't.
Come on.
Do you, Heinz?
Come on.
Do you? Are you just gonna say come on, or oh my gosh, he has mod powers here.
Look at the size of my sword.
That's huge.
It's thick. It's green.
It's piercing. Yeah, Greg.
But no,
Feels
I
bad,
kind of have
man.
to, just because I'm on the channel so often that I have to change the title in the event of an emergency,
Right.
etc. So it's just kind of like
Yep, no,
convenience
makes
sake.
sense.
So how
So
does Dark Magician out this big fat
Yeah.
Cocytus? Is that what you were about to ask?
Yep, was just about to point that out, is that Sabres managed to get to Cocytus early, which is huge for them in a Dark Magician matchup. It's really their like primary survival condition. At this point, Dark Magician most likely hoping for. You've got to assume if it's Team Wars format, there's no side deck. They have to main deck at least one out, which is either going to be Eye of Timaeus or it's going to be Herald of the Abyss.
Yeah, I would
So
say
this point's waiting game.
Dark Magic Expanded can kind of work, but like, it's not really great because you're dealing with Alistair in the hand.
Yeah, like they can boost too. It does slow down Sabres.
Expanded. Maybe if you have 2 expanded. Is it 8-7? No, I don't think so.
No.
No, my score is accurate.
No, DM was just sent in freshly as a new player. Maz is new. New to this specific war. Level 2 tuner does work as well, although as of late, probably especially post-ban list, but even pre-ban list, I would say people weren't really running the level 2 tuner as much. Typically kind of just, I mean, DM has a little bit of a fight constantly and tug of war going on for space in the deck for what kind of text and stuff you actually want to run. Got a pretty large engine, not a ton of space for too many options.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to be getting so many texts that it starts tugging on your rod. You need to have enough room
True.
for...
You gotta let your rod breathe sometimes, you know?
Yeah, you need space.
Yeah.
And you really cannot... It's one of those decks that you can't go over 20. It's kind of like dating women. You don't really go over 20 because you want to get to know them all equally. 20 people, not the age, man. That's sexist.
Yeah, no, that would have been a weird comment.
Yeah, that would have made it weird. No, but honestly, you don't really want to see more than 20 cards in Dark Magician because you want that opening as consistent as possible.
Yeah, very true. DM very much based on doing one specific combo. And it's pretty solidly consistent deck at doing that, but you really want to maximize your opportunities to have that combo. And the more text you enter or you bring into the equation, or the more cards over 20 that you bring into the equation, the less likely you are to do that.
Kook says, "Damn, Heinz, wife is 21. Am I wrong?" No.
Well, he divorced her after she passed over the 20-year-old mark.
Yeah, I mean,
It was sad. We were all sad. Heinz was sad. Heinz's wife was sad. No one wanted to do it, but as per the rule.
She's 20 and 21. It's no longer wife. You just write ex-wife instead.
Yeah.
And then you get a new one.
But no more than 20 at once, at least.
Yeah. The way the good Lord intended.
So at this point, I mean, Dark Magician continues, or not Dark Magician, Sabres continue to survive, drawing into more cards. But like they've also got a game plan as well, right? Like they're very much trying to work toward being able to try and make probably a large perk push. But that takes some pretty substantial resources to be able to push through like certain things, like a navigation negate from grave, other cards and resources on field that Dark Magician has.
All right, so these guys are just passing back and forth and back and forth. Look at the amount of cards in each player's hand. It is insane. I will still be on your burger. Is that a euphemism for something, Mr. Kid?
I don't know what that means. And I don't know if that's okay. But we're going to take it as a compliment.
I mean, it's the only way you can take it.
Yeah. Alright, so we do finally have a card on field from Sabres that is not Casitas. I'm going to take a guess. Well, maybe not.
Set a
I was
back
going
row
to take a
card, too.
guess that it was an Alistair, but maybe it's not.
Yo, imagine if he actually did Alteza. Like, imagine if he was playing Lava Golem as his tech. He's like, ah, you played right into my hand.
He's like, aha. Oh my god.
And just a scoop. Okay.
What?
Well, why waste all the time if that's the way you were going to do that?
Does he not run an out?
Who just won? It was Massa, right? Yeah, Massa won. Okay, so it's 8-7 now. That confused me. I lost track of everything that was happening.
Yeah. What?
Why waste all that time if it was like...
Yeah, if you don't have a single out to...
Oh, I just realized. We're a different deck.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I left my Herald in my other pants.
Guys, some guys in chat are making a point. He may have clogged his back row. Could have happened.
I suppose.
Alternatively, he may have clogged his field a bit. Like if he was planning on going into Tamaya, I have Tamaya specifically for like Dark Cavalry or something. I guess he would have had to use his only Dark Magician monster on field and then wouldn't have the negate from Navigation and Grave. Granted, Cavalry still does a lot of work in that matchup, so I don't know.
He
probably clogged his
expanded,
back
so you could always just play expanded.
Yeah, that was... He really honestly might not have had an out. That's weird.
Maybe he was just trying to see text, like he was trying to get information, which is why he played it out. Because this is a
Yeah.
multiple game format. Is this a repeat? Did they repeat that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why don't? No.
Did they? Let's check the
Just
chat.
play 2 Element Sabers? No, that's... Oh, I'm stupid. No, that's Luna. What
Sabers
am I
won.
talking
Yeah.
about? Why? That confused me so much that I literally lost track of everything that's happening. This is Luna. That is not the same person.
Yeah. Ooh, gonna drop multiple monsters here and just go for the push. Unfortunately, not able to go Purg first and boost the Purg due to the new banless hit of Purg being limited to 1 card. Most players do choose to run Casitas
Malo.
instead. Yeah, Malo, sorry. Fire Saber.
That hot
But
guy.
yep. Yeah, the hot dude. But yeah, Sphere Karibo keeping that monster alive, opting to not swing in, just gonna play it safe.
There's a heavy push early. This has to be Shiranui, right? You'd have to expect that with Luna. Level augmentation. Sphere
Most
Karibos.
likely. Yeah.
You see Shiranui lately moving so heavily toward hand traps. There was so many back rows before, now it's all Sphere Karibos and Lancias.
Yeah, I mean that was the list Ankara won the Barrows Cash tournament with last night. It was just a bunch of hand traps. Seemed to work out well for him.
Level augmentating and confirming it is indeed Shiranui's.
Yep. So has a level 2 on board.
And no disruption, which is very interesting coming from Element Sabers. No disruption on the board whatsoever. And the Kazuki...
Yeah, last tool they really didn't set anything either. And granted, that was probably more of an intentional choice, but still, like we just have not seen any back row coming out of the Saber deck, really.
You see that too? That Kazuki was the middle card. It's not the card that he just drew. He didn't shuffle his hand. Kazuki was the middle card, so he opted to set the Spectral Sword.
Yeah, true.
Didn't play the Zook, so wisely playing around the Alistair Invocation. Zerdy showing some great match awareness.
Yeah, ideally not trying to drop any easily banishable Purg food. Does go for Kazuki now, though. Gonna set up another level 2 engrave, knowing that Maza would only be able to easily banish one. Goes straight into level 10, will not get an effect to start popping anything. With that being said, 3,500 is a heck of a threshold to have to get over. Protected as well.
And opting not to protect that Casitas. And by putting that Casitas in the grave, it also actually just boosts the Purg up to be able to get over the Sun Saga with the Alistair boost, but it's still protected by the
Handful of
Shiranuis
zombies in the grave, yeah.
Now, it does have to banish a Shiranui specifically, which is at least good for Massa in this situation.
Yep, very true.
He can fuse off one, providing he's not running that Corona Broke Boy build with one Purgatrio. So presumably he'll be able to banish one and swing to banish the other.
Well, so the other thing to keep in mind here is that Sabers did not have a battle phase. They did have to search last turn to make that very substantial push play. That was kind of an all-in play.
Also want to give a big shout out to Choppa200 with that raid of 45 people. Welcome everybody to come in with Choppa. What's good? I'm Hines. That's Monkey Boy on the other side of the booth with me. And
yo,
you guys are watching Garuda versus Neo for Duel Links Team Wars as Garuda leads with an 8-7 score.
Yep.
Oh, is that a Magulanica?
Oh, okay.
In defense?
It's a very thick Magulanica.
Yeah,
and a back row. He finally has one.
Look at all the islands and stuff on Magulanica, and then look, he's wearing like an Apple Watch or something. Where do you think he shops to get it in that size?
You know, I like to think that he's got custom connects at the his local Apple store. So I'll hook him up.
I like it.
You know, he's got a watch guy, right?
I mean, he's got a ring on as well. I presume he just popped that off of Saturn or something.
Oh, for sure. Now we do see.
Alright, swinging in on the Magulanica, potentially just checking for delays and everything. Yeah, just bouncing off of it.
He's just trying out, you know. He could swing over Purg if he wanted to. Which could do one of several things. It could prompt an Alistair drop in order to keep Purg alive, which would burn one of the two level 2s in grave, or it could just successfully go through. This is probably a safer way to check things out, though. Get a feel for the lay of the land.
And as Massa gets closer to his back row, or depending on what that back row of his is, a Fiendish Chain could completely shut off the Sun Saga protection effect. And we see that Floodgate going to drop that Malehu, which can also just flip itself face down to dodge, as well as boosting up the monsters even further.
Or can flip Sun Saga face down.
Well, that seems...
Given that Purg is on field and he has a battle phase now, which could be very lethal.
Zero defense and piercing are not a good combination for Zerdy at this point. Massa looking at that like it is a banquet and he hasn't eaten in days.
Now there's a very real possibility that one of the cards in hand is another sphere, right? We've seen it from him once already. We've seen minimal back row get set from Zerdy.
Yeah, and you know, with one more card burnt, that Floodgate Trap Hole, it actually does reduce the attack of Purgatrio down to 29. So it's not sitting at 39, and there is that Sphere Karibo that you were talking about.
Yep. Well, worth pointing out, though, is that he does have Palace on field. If he were to have dropped Alistair and made it to
It would've
damage
just
step,
boosted it
it
right
would have been a
back up,
dark and
so.
boosted it right back over lethal. Yep.
Check us out doing all this math and stuff. We've come so far.
I know. Crazy.
And at 24, a lot more deal-withable is the Purgatrio.
Deal withable.
It's a word.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Now, we've seen 2 instances this duel of like a very like, all right, this is going to be it type push from Maza. The first was on his first turn, which was turn 2 of the duel. He did a Palace Search, dropped Casitas and Purg, tried to go in for a quick lethal there, stopped by a Sphere. And very similar here as well.
When he shows
summoned a
off a
Malayhu.
Sphere of his own, double Alistair in the hand, as well as
Ooh. You know, that guy. But yeah, and then the second time around, tried to make a very similar push, right? He summoned out Malayhu, got flooded. He chose to, instead of Malayhu, his own himself face down to try and either be able to flip Malayhu back up or force a swing from Sun Saga to clear up more space. He kind of went a little bit all in again by flipping down the Sun Saga, being like, hey, I know what the back row was. There's no more back row. I'm just going to have to go for it, try and get lethal. And again, Sphere Karibo being that hand trap that just stops the whole play.
Yeah, this is one of these things. I mean, and knowing now that he had that appointer of the Red Lotus, it actually comes off as a bit disappointing that he went all in there.
Yeah.
But it does remind me of something I learned back when I was training jiu-jitsu. And it's something that I've actually carried over to other games and Yu-Gi-Oh and other games. Is my teacher always taught me position before submission. And I know it sounds weird to attribute that to Yu-Gi-Oh, but sometimes when you're going for game, you know, if something can throw you off, if there's that potential to miss, it can throw you out of position and actually cost you the entire game. Which in a war like this, which is very close now, it can be a scary spot. So there was a point to that.
Did you actually do jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Okay, I laughed a little bit as he said that because I thought that was going to be one of those many times where like you're kind of just saying things. Well, I thought it was one of those times where like you're kind of just saying things and leading into some kind of complicated joke, and I was like, all right, like here.
Yeah, this is good. We're going for a trip now. No, it was actually some potential words of wisdom that can help somebody out. I don't know, but yeah, I've trained Western boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and Muay Thai.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Long history of martial arts. My grandfather was a Golden Gloves boxer in the army coming out of World War II. So
dope. Very cool.
He taught me that, and then I kind of just picked up a love for martial arts over time. So, we are boosting up that Purg now.
We're getting real big.
Ooh, he says, you want to be huge? Is that how you want to be? We do know that one of those is a Raigeki break.
Very true, but I mean, he doesn't give a heck anymore, man. He's gonna keep fusing.
Yo, Frieza, it's good. It's good advice, man. You don't want to be dropping for a leg lock and get your head on the floor for somebody to use gravity against you. That stuff sucks.
True.
Gravity is not your friend, man. You ain't Isaac Newton. Oh, he's going for the old
going for the match.
Big bad mag.
Does not want to go for the crash here. There is still a Squire engraved. Now, one, nice thing to note is that both level 2s are currently banished.
Oh, okay. These guys are just trading Raigeki breaks now.
Yep, Raigeki breaks.
Says, oh, give me a break.
Targeting a back row, does hit a chain. Also, nope, never mind, I was going to say boost up, but it was dependent on the number of cards on field.
Oh, so rips that Night Beam, says you cannot respond, do not pass go, do not collect $200, double chain. Oh, man.
goes in again. Malehu.
And now the Malehu. This is... I mean,
This is
it
it,
a
right?
sphere? The only thing to fear is sphere itself. We're flat earthers now.
Here it is, damage step.
Woo!
Alistair the Invoker.
Regular Karibo one time. Let's see it. 45 to the mouth. Even my girlfriend's coughing. He got hit so hard.
Heinz, do you realize what this means?
Is it a tie game? Is it
Well,
better than a 10-8 score?
It is, more specifically, yes. That means that although it didn't look like it was going to happen at first, back when we were sitting at a 6-2 score, we have officially made it to our classic threshold of not casting wars that don't end at least 10-8.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
Neo
want to
brought
do
it
this
back.
already, so I didn't want to leave so soon.
I agree. We've all had some fun here tonight. Learned some things. We've shared some advice. We've seen some weird decks get opened with for the war. And we've seen some cool comebacks, actually. CU and Mazda both putting in a huge amount of work in terms of trying to pull back their score here and really give Neil a shot to still potentially win this. Either way, at this point, neither team will be walking away with too big of a round differential boost. So at this point, the battle is really for the whole war. It's just, one team really wants to make sure they lock in that win. Pudding coming out from Garuda. Can potentially DM or maybe Shira. You definitely have to hope DM if this is pudding, or if you are pudding. Palace of the Elemental Lords, dropping on field, going into Lapulia. Now at this point, if this is DM, it's going to be a little bit more scary. Only one back row, but really, as long as you can protect yourself from a potential rod push into your lap, then Lapulia becomes a huge threat to DM because you can really stop a Dark Magical Circle anytime they drop it, since it is a hard once per turn. Or once, yeah.
Sorry, you had me a rod push into your lap.
Ooh.
just you broke me.
It's not all I'll break.
So we got Pudding on the bottom, Massa on the top. I'm just getting back into this. I was talking to my girlfriend for a moment, so...
Yeah,
I actually just happened to put my headphone back in just as you were saying a rod push into your lap. It made me laugh. For no reason.
Yeah, I mean, for absolutely no reason, just Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
And you correctly calling that it is Dark Magician, and like you said, that lap, once per turn negate, Dark Magician really wants to do one thing on their turn and one thing on your turn, and it's not looking great. You pretty much have to open up double nav.
Yeah, I mean, it just immediately becomes, really awkward to kind of get any of your plays through. You're really not able to drop circle. There wouldn't be much of a point to it. Well elapsed on the field. He does have Sphere Karibo to protect himself, more specifically from that rod, so didn't even need to burn the back row.
And the other thing, too, is that as soon as he does negate even one, lapsing at 2,500, and it becomes very difficult to get over. You pretty much are forced to negate the Palace of the Elemental Lords, which leaves you susceptible to back row as Dark Magician.
Yep, yeah, Lap's got all kinds of threatening factors about it in kind of this matchup. Also, one thing to note, had we seen a Sphere Karibo from Masa up to this point, or was this the first time we've seen it?
It's the first time we've seen it actually used to prevent an attack. Oh, and that makes it even worse. Night Beam says you cannot respond. It's the first time we've seen it used, but we did see it off in a pointer of Red Lotus.
Oh, true, we did, yep, when he had to reveal his hand, you're right.
That's the attention to detail these guys tune in for, by the way. Oh, Tretch, though. So this is important, as you can't use the chained card in response to... Like, you can't chain the card that's targeted in response to Night Beam, but because he did use the Treacherous, he can now chain the card that was targeted by Night Beam, provided that it is usable here.
Yep. This Tretch also pretty much hard forces Lap to negate it. I don't really know where the debate is coming from on this delay here.
And there's the Illusion Magic, gonna dodge anyway. And I mean, I guess if you're that Lap, you have to think, well, Masa's gotta think, okay, well, he can't negate the Tretch anymore. At this point, you pretty much have to negate the Illusion Magic, correct?
Yeah.
Because
yeah, you do.
You lose the Lap at the end of the chain regardless.
Yeah, you might as well negate. Like, I don't know what you would save the
Why are
negate
you
for.
letting your opponent's going -2 willingly here? Like, why would you... What are you thinking about? That's my
I don't know.
question.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saving it for. Unless you have, like, a second Lap, but even that I don't think makes sense.
Yeah, just search it out.
I don't know, man.
That's a lot of thunk.
That is a lot of thunk. That's a lot of
Hey, he lets it go through. Let's him
well.
search. I mean, even if it is Nav, I mean, do you take the risk about, you know, does he have that Dark Magician in the hand?
I mean, even if it's... Yeah.
And it was Navigation, but I just don't think he had the Dark Magician yet.
Alright. You know what? I mean,
it all
he
works
did the
out in
thing.
the end, but
Yeah.
look at the advantage now in terms of cards for putting. Now he's thinking about putting this rod up this guy, and he slaps down a Prismatic Circle.
Yo, Prisma Circle's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I like that.
I mean, with all the cards that you can get from the card trader now for Dark Magician, you know, the Rod, the Expanded, you can get the Prismatic Magician of Dark Illusion and the Dark Magicians from tickets. You could even upgrade your Curtain at sometimes. You could actually bling out an almost entire Dark Magician. And this is just offensive. What the heck is this?
Oh my.
How you gonna have a Prismatic Dark Magical Circle and then you slap down this glossy, ugly ass Tablet Dark Magician? And you get a deck loss just for that. Get this man out of here.
Can we just agree that Tablet Dark Magician is the worst Dark Magician?
Absolutely. You'd have to be on some special tablets of your own if you think that's the best one.
You know, etched into some stone tablets of your own.
Nah, I'm thinking you on drugs. Drugs are bad. My mom told me that. Okay, I said drugs are bad and Monkey Boy disappeared, so...
Yeah, I you know. No, fun fact, I am not a drug guy for anybody who is a cop or not a cop. Just not a thing I do personally.
Yeah, I'm actually the same boat. It's just not my deal.
Tell you what is my deal though is this Element Saber Malehu. Drop it on board. Swinging in, trying to rip over that 2100 defense from Dark Magician.
And he goes down.
And
But does he
does.
have
Goes
another
through.
Navagaskian?
Ooh, there it is.
He got it like that.
That's real rough.
And there's a Magician Navigation in the grave as well, so he can even negate that. Hey, there we go. That's a Prismatic.
There's a Prisma Red Dark Magician. See, I like the red. Personally, myself, when I run the deck, I use 3 Prisma Red.
I actually use 3 different Prismatic artworks.
Ooh, you're one of those guys, huh?
I like the variety.
Nice. Yeah, you get to pick which Dark Magician you slap someone with.
DSOD is obviously the superior one. The only problem is we only have 1 copy of them.
Of OG DM.
The Dark Side of Dimensions one.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
The blue buff one. And what's with this guy with all his wardrobe changes, by the way? How many robes this man got? Where's his dark magic closet? Where's that?
You would have to consult Magician's Robe and ask that card.
True.
You know, right? Right though. So at this point, I guess he's hoping for Sphere to survive, maybe at best, but even that's not ideal.
He might have it. I mean,
I think Sabers
you see
unfortunately
a
just loses
delay.
here.
I mean, it could be just navigation in the grave or something. Yeah, it seems like that must be what it is. Something on Dark Magician's side as Pudding
Yeah.
takes the game and Garuda leads 9-8. Garuda on match point. But Neo has come back from a worse deficit in the past. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Man, that was tough though. I mean, Mazza went first, had the Palace, you know, played it correctly, went into lap, had defense for lap. Everything was, you know,
It
as
was
good as
really
it could be
looking
in that
good.
situation.
I think
But-
not negating the illusion magic was a problem. It fueled up the navigations and thinned the deck out so he can get closer to text. I just think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I think either way, it's just really tough when, with the fact that Pudding opened Nav plus Tretch. Tretch is a huge threat to lap. It's really one of the only cards in that situation that's going to be the out.
I mean, even still, it was in response to a Night Beam, and he still would have put his lap into defense position, as well as would have had the Element Saber Malehu to summon and swing over. Like, even if he did manage to put out the
DMs, yeah.
like, he still would have been in a much better position. And I don't think he would have been able to. I think that he didn't have Dark Magicians in hand. Because remember, he used the Curtain on the next turn.
True,
So he had
actually.
one in the deck after searching two, so he just didn't have any.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah,
negating it would have been just so much better. And it wouldn't have thinned the deck out, so he could have gotten that Curtain in the hand regardless.
Well, I mean, even still, I almost think at that point that I feel like what you should negate is the Tretch. Like, if your opponent drops Magician or drops Dark Magician on you, it's annoying, but to the point you had made in that duel,
And there was no
Lap
circle.
would hit 2,500. Yeah, there was no circle. Lap would hit 2,500. Circle itself is the big threat. That's a once per turn, a hard once per turn. So Lap can always negate that. I mean, really, DM's only out at that point is like CC over your Palace spell. See what Maz's last deck here though is. Given some respect to Pudding, I'm impressed. Credit where credit's due. Entering what could be match point for Pudding for Garuda here.
And this is Seto Kaiba. Are we looking at peak performance? We are. You might not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
Why did that sound like a commercial for peak performance?
It's what I do.
Going. Now Blackwings are going first here, which is less ideal.
Now, you say Black Wings, but this very well could be Malefic Blue Eyes.
You know, it could. And I suppose given some of the other decks we've seen today, I really have nothing to stand on in saying that it's not. But I do think it's Blackwings.
I'm not gonna lie, Makoto, that is a very sweet thing to say. The ref should check the deck before the match if there's an illegal deck. They do submit the decks, but the thing is you could submit one deck and then play a different one. Oh, that's not a brick. Simoon!
Okay. Simoon finishes off with Zephyros.
And I'm not saying that I think that anybody's cheating. I'm just like weighing in on what the egg said and then what Makoto said in the chat. I was just weighing in on that.
So Zephyros probably not the ideal card to want to have to banish here, to be honest. Not the worst, but
Oh, you were saying?
oh, okay. You know what? Never mind. Take it back. Undo. Control Z. Zephyros specifically being kind of nice because if he does go into a pixie play here,
Control Z
gives
for
him the ability to
Zephyros.
bounce
I like it.
the-
Starts with a Z.
it does.
Oh, we went Raikiri. Golden Shower.
Okay.
Does he got the Adaroshi already? He must, right?
Could he could have?
I guess really, you know, getting. Obviously, you're not gonna go for well, he can't go for Necro Valley. So Zephyros bouncing back, so he's just gonna save himself some burn damage, I guess. 600 points.
Yeah, as well as I guess keep the whirlwind for later.
Pixies here.
I almost wonder if he has a Blackbird close.
Yeah, I think the only time you don't draw is if you already have it, right?
I would think.
Yes, Greg.
Opens the Prisma Circle again. Again, a known rule is that if you have a prismatic card, you are 50% more likely to open it. And Curtain. Oh my gosh, this man
I feel
wild.
like I've seen this before.
What? Hello? This could be it. That takes off the synchro from board. Okay, so did not have a rod to follow up with. But, I mean, still a huge push coming in here, right?
Yeah, it's either the one and only Raikiri, the Golden Shower, or he's a madman not playing Orochi. But yeah, what an interesting play now that you look at that. Going Raikiri, like, instead of Joe, which can dodge targeting effects, I'm actually a bit curious. Why go Raikiri when you get no value off of it? When you
I don't...
could have got a draw off a Pixie Dragon. If you're playing peak performance, you must be. Why Raikiri there? Why?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Whirlwind again, and he saved himself 1,000 burn damage. But like, if I said this in the Blackwing channel the other day, somebody was talking about this. Is like, if I had a card that said take 1,400 damage but draw a card, I'm playing that card.
Oh, for sure, any day. Like life points don't matter very much in
unless
most
it's 0.
Yeah. As long as you have one life point, and even on like a more subtle level, like most matchups, you don't even really care about life points too much. Like you usually lose a duel because your resources are not able to beat your opponents.
Yeah, I would say, especially as you get into higher levels of play, you
Yeah.
almost disregard life points completely unless there's a chance to put them at 0. You only see life point damage as over whatever your opponent has right now.
Yeah.
And there's the Pixie Dragon, confirming that he does run it, which
So it
just
does have it, yeah.
makes the earlier play all the more questionable. His hard
Also-
once per duel effect.
Puts it into attack as
Yeah,
well.
which is now smaller than... I mean, if this is navigation, he's going to lose another synchro.
I mean, it's got to be nav, right? Like, there's no reason to immediately use illusion magic there unless you're trying to set up a nav pretty quick.
I'd say this isn't a bad matchup for Blackwings, honestly.
No, not at all.
Like, to be honest, I've played Blackwings to some extent, and I always feel like when I'm playing against Dark Magician, I kind of like laugh to myself, like, cool, you've banished a card. Now here come my other 3 synchros, and they're all bigger than your Dark Magician.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching this and going, well, I guess I can see how you could theoretically lose the matchup. And we do see Chidori come through with a 4,600 attack, which is very solid. But you kind of have to worry about a live navigation here.
Yep. And
there it
that'll
is. And
probably be it. Oh. Okay.
Oh, the Cosmic. Okay, that changes
You know
things
what?
a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Although, you know what? Maybe a bit premature on the Cosmic. Because he could have baited the
Yeah.
Dark Magician into attack position, and now...
Now he goes defense. Yep, you're right. Although, I mean, if we'll give Pudding some credit that knowing that Dark Magician attack would have risked him getting lethal.
I mean, I feel like he just wouldn't want the Pixie Dragon. What?
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 No way! Heinz, didn't this happen to us last week?
What just happened?
Oh my god, what just happened? That was actually pretty well played there at the end too. He even kept Pixie in attack. I'm gonna give him the credit of saying, or the benefit of the doubt of saying, knowing that Dark Magician would have to go to defense.
He could swing over. He could swing over both,
yeah.
even with a stupid rod on the board.
Yeah. That is so unfortunate. This literally happened to us last week as well.
Right on the cusp.
We were casting a war. The game point came down to just a burnout of a timeout. Oh my gosh. That's so tragic.
Kanda, you can't time it with Black Wings, can you?
I guess.
Can
It didn't
you?
even. It didn't
Blackwing
seem like
Dark
he was
Magician?
taking that long.
The Blackwing Dark Magician matchup, though?
Yeah.
It was
I
a
don't
time
know.
limit? Pudding
Was
says it
it?
was a time limit win. How?
What?
Okay. Alright, so Garuda wins 10-8 just like that.
All right. I mean, well done for sure for Garuda. But dang, that's tough
Yeah.
for Neo. Sorry, guys.
I mean, he used all of his time, and we were still saying that it was probably the wrong play. Almost the entire game as well, so that's kind of rough.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it was
I feel a bit like a bully now at this point.
I know it was about to maybe pay off for him. So, like I said, I'll give him some credit that maybe we were wrong and he was making an interesting play there that allowed for swinging over just about anything.
I'm not going to be so generous, but hey, that's cool.
One of us has to.
But yeah, I guess that's got to be it for us, right? I mean, I'll be back at 10 a.m. probably on my own channel. I'll be joined by Shao's, and I'll be casting your guys' game. So if you're playing, good luck to you, but good luck to Tier 0 for sure. And thank you for joining me once again, ApeMan88.
Thank you. And everybody in chat, all, what are we at right now? 163 of you. Appreciate the heck out of you guys doing the late night war with us. That is super good numbers for a war that now at this point is ending at 2 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah,
what a war it was. I mean, that was pure entertainment all the way through. Neo starting us off with just some heat, and
Yep.
Garuda putting on a very consistent performance all the way through as well.
Yeah, well done to all teams. And Heinz, thanks for casting. Appreciate you as always.
Yeah, always my favorite partner in crime, Monkey Boy. And thank you everybody in the chat for coming through. And that's going to be it for us. Good